Conditions look good out there. Plenty of breeze for this start of the America's Cup. 16.5 knots, likely to increase. The flood tide coming in under the Golden Gate Bridge, also increasing throughout the day. Both teams are ready. Jimmy Spithill to the right at the helm of Oracle Team USA. Dean Barker on the left. And they look calm, cool, and collected.
They do. You know, Dean Barker and Ray have been here many times before, but this is the first time Jimmy's going to do a proper race. So, you know, there's going to be nerves on both teams, but I think they're ready to race. And, you know, as we've seen them training all year long, I think it's going to be a really good match.
So there we go. 2 minutes, 43 seconds to the entry into the pre-start. And it's important to note that due to some rules infractions that occurred in the America's Cup World Series, Oracle Team USA has been penalized 2 race points. To win the Cup, they're going to have to earn 11 points to Emirates Team New Zealand's 9. So here it is, Emirates Team New Zealand on the left-hand side, entering on port tack and building speed. Nathan, as you said, 2 minutes, 10 seconds is the port boat's entry time, and that's done for safety. Oracle Team USA will enter the start on starboard at exactly 2 minutes. And we're into the pre-start here in race number 1.
Looks like it was pretty good time on distance there, and we'll see Jimmy coming here, and we expect him to jibe. That seems to be the key move. So we'll look for him to jibe, and then it's up to Dean to decide when he wants to lead back to the start line here.
You hear the guys talking on board, distance to the boundary, distance to the next maneuver. For each team will head back to the line. The question now on board Emirates Team New Zealand. Will they turn back first? 1 minute 35 to go.
And here they go, moving into attack. So big call here, rolling into attack, and we expect Jimmy Spitthill's probably going to make an aggressive move here and tack directly in front of him. We'll wait and see what he decides to do. Big decision there. So he's going for the jibe. And I think Dean turned around at the right time there. About 1:30 he started the turn. And let's just listen on board to see what they've got to say.
You've got to go hot, hot. Okay, he's down a little now. Come on, mate, go with it. He can't. He's locked. Going speed here. He's going to the top. Full speed.
50 seconds to go. The 2 teams converging.
Yeah, what we can hear there is Tom Slingsby behind Jimmy saying he's locked. He can't go behind us. He's going to try and roll us, so be ready to defend the roll. And they're still a long way from the line with a bit of time to kill here.
Can't get to the boat. Only 13 to kill, Dino.
So, Oracle Team USA to leeward, to the left. Emirates Team New Zealand to windward. Who would you rather be?
I'm liking where Dean is at the moment. I think he's in a good position. I heard Ray Davies say we can't get locked out at the windward end. So it's a time on distance starts between the 2 boats, and we're about to find out who's faster on each one.
So we are just 15 seconds away from the moment where the entire sailing world holds its breath. It's Oracle Team USA to leeward, Emirates Team New Zealand to windward as they approach the line for the start of race number 1 of the 34th America's Cup.
All clear, all clear.
Nice guys.
It looked like Jimmy was a little bit late there on that start. Dean did a really good job on the time on distance. He's got his bow forward. I think Oracle still has wind clear, but as you can see here, Dean just seems to be a little faster on the first reach.
The wing wash coming off of Emirates Team New Zealand, and Nathan, it looks like they might have a slight edge. Who will get into the zone at mark number 1 first? This moment is huge, and it belongs to Emirates Team New Zealand.
Wow, really close moments there, just pushing hard to get around the mark on in front. And once again, Team New Zealand, always first around mark 1, aren't they?
And the delta, just a couple seconds, 4 to be exact, and we're on our way, ripping downwind, both boats up on the foils. What an amazing start to this first race.
It couldn't have been closer if you tried, and this is the key moment. Let's see who's good at these jobs. We know Team New Zealand are really good. Looks like Jimmy's going to go a little further, go a little bit closer to that boundary, and just do a jibe not under any pressure. But again, look at that amazing jibe by Team New Zealand.
Happy to go here. Go bottom. Go forward, Simon.
Nathan, you were right. The crew work from Emirates Team New Zealand, flawless as you would expect. Now it's Oracle Team USA's turn. Foil to foil jibe.
Yeah, well, these guys have obviously been watching very closely what Team New Zealand have been doing. And, you know, it's going to be a pretty good race here. It looks like the Kiwis are slightly out in front when we go to the overhead picture here. And it'll be interesting to see now a speed difference between the 2 boats. Looking like the Kiwis are slightly faster at the moment.
Now we'll go through a replay of leg number 1, and Nathan, talk us through it.
Yeah, it was really tight. I think Dean did a better job on the time on distance, and he seemed to be just a little bit faster on the first reach there, and looked like Jimmy just, you can see the red light there flashing. He went for a protest. He's trying to get a luff here in coming into Mark 1. Didn't quite get successful though.
There's the luff you're referring to. No blood, no foul. Emirates Team New Zealand crosses just ahead of Oracle Team USA. Look at that, incredibly close.
And we did say he was going to be aggressive, and these boats are doing 40 knots of boat speed, and that's a big maneuver there. You know, you would hate to have the boats come together, but unfortunately that push for a penalty didn't really end up coming to his advantage.
Here we go, the first cross on the run. Emirates Team New Zealand has still got it, but only just about 2 lengths in it.
Well, we did say it was going to be a close race, and check that out. That's the closest cross we've seen in any racing to date. And I think, you know, they're going to go a little further here and look at a jibe closer out to the boundary.
On board, Oracle Team USA.
Nice, Tommy.
That's a pretty nice jibe, bottom speed of 30 knots. I heard them saying they've been doing a few in that kind of vicinity, and I think they've jibed in a really good spot there, because now they're on starboard tack. Boat never touched the water the whole way through that jibe, and when Team New Zealand jibe back onto port, they're going to have a really tough situation here to cross ahead of USA.
This way, 50 the other.
Setting up for a jibe on board Emirates Team New Zealand with Dean Barker at the helm.
Once again, another nice jibe there, full foiling jibe, but just textbook stuff for these guys. And you know, I'm interested to see how tight this cross is going to be. Looks like they're going to just get ahead of them here.
Under the rules, Oracle Team USA has right of way if it's close, but it's not. Emirates Team New Zealand has got it.
Wow, check that out. That's close, isn't it? I heard JK say marginal cross here, and it looked like Jimmy tried to hunt him down a little bit to try and get a penalty, but clear cross there for Emirates Team New Zealand, and shaping up to be a really good race coming into the bottom mark.
30 seconds the other way, have to go. Ready?
So far we have seen a very smooth Emirates Team New Zealand, a very aggressive Oracle Team USA. They tried to luff them after the start on the first reach, and you just saw that bobble there. Jimmy Spithill acted like he had to change course, but no penalty there. So it's all even as far as penalties are concerned as we head into the Leeward Gates, mark number 2.
And Oracle here jibing on the lail under the bottom mark. Look at that. Once again, another perfect foiling jibe, and shaping up to be a really close race bottom mark here. Emirates Team New Zealand, I don't think, are on the ley line to the bottom mark, so they need another jibe to come here. That's a good spot to jibe there by Dean. I think he jibed directly in front of Jimmy, not letting him have any passing moments, and they're going to round within 2 lengths of each other here at the bottom mark.
Man, fantastic. Look how close it is. This is terrific. This is the close racing everybody around the world was hoping for. Mark number 2, the Leeward marks. It's Emirates Team New Zealand ahead. Still the delta, only 4 seconds.
Yeah, really close here, and Dean looked like he pointed really high around that bottom mark to really try and get in Jimmy's way. And look at that close situation, and Dean goes around the outside, and he's going to take the starboard advantage. So I think that's a huge gain there for Oracle.
Another protest filed by Oracle Team USA. The umpires will make the call, but there is definitely an overlap. The race is dead even at this point.
And we said Jimmy was going to be aggressive, and that's the 3rd time we've seen them use the protest flag, and looks like Team New Zealand also went for a protest there. So we'll wait for the jury to come up with a decision on that mark rounding.
Very close now. Both boats head to the left as we take a look at a replay. Here we are at the bottom mark, Nathan.
We can hear the voices on board here, and it looks like they've gone the outside to try and get a luff. It looked like to me that Dean just was a little bit slow coming out of the bottom mark, and Jimmy took the chance to come in fast, foiling here around the bottom market, and goes around the outside. And as soon as he gets the overlap to leeward, you'll watch here, it looks like he tries to just give him a little bit of luff. You know, there's no contact between the boats, and at this moment, Dean has no option but to tack. And the umpires obviously decided not an issue there, and the race continues.
Pretty even mode.
Back in the race, we're heading upwind. You heard John Kostecki there saying he cannot cross. Nathan, what's he referring to?
Well, what he's referring to here is that, you know, as you can see on the Emirates boat, looking at to Oracle in the distance there, they're on starboard tack. They have the right of way. And it looks like Oracle's made a gain by going up the cone behind Alcatraz. And even though you're looking at this shot here, they are ahead by 92 metres. When they tack, they're not going to get clear across. So it's a really strong position here for USA.
Little gains to them.
We'll have a look straight out of that.
Chance to cross.
10. Standing by in 3, 2, 1, tacking.
This is going to be a huge moment in the race. We know they were dead even around the leeward mark. We know Emirates Team New Zealand, under the rules, will have to avoid if it's close. Oracle Team USA on starboard, and it's bow to bow.
Going for a dip here.
I just heard there they're going for a dip, so we'll see if there's a dial down coming here. Jimmy might decide to dial down at Emirates here.
I'm happy for a higher mode.
There's the cross. Oracle Team USA have done it. A lead change, and the Americans are now in the lead.
Sounds like from Jimmy there, he wants to go all the way into the boundary from here. They've made the gain. Now the important thing is that when they tack back onto port, that they continue to lead this race. So they need to keep pushing hard here to cross Emirates Team New Zealand when they come back together.
This is fantastic stuff. These two teams trading blows like two prize fighters, incredibly evenly matched. Here comes another cross.
Big moment coming here again. I heard, you know, we need to make this cross from the guys on board, and let's just listen to see what happens here.
100% of the cross or not?
Close cross, Emirates Team New Zealand on starboard. Oracle Team USA have got it.
Standing by at 10.
That's a very close cross and extremely important, because from here, I think Oracle are going to just extend a little further out into the middle. They know they have the starboard advantage coming back. It looked like the Emirates Team New Zealand called for a protest and the umpires called no protest, no penalty. So, you know, they're going at it. Both teams are going really hard at it. It's exactly what you expect in the first race of the America's Cup.
Just let us know about the mode too, okay? What do you think of the mode, Slingers? All right? Very similar.
What you could hear there is Jimmy asking Tom Slingsby, who's right behind him, what do you think of the mode? Because Jimmy, to keep this boat going fast, needs to keep looking forward. You can see how close everything's together on the boat. And Tommy there is facing backwards, always looking at the other boat, and this will be the first chance we really get to see how fast they are together.
A little left, but just so you know. Happy to set up. Stand by, guys. Please hit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Another tack from Oracle Team USA. Potentially another dip from Emirates Team New Zealand, the boat that has to give way as the Americans head to the left of the race course.
Let's have a listen on New Zealand and see what their plan is from here. They've got to get back into this race somehow.
10. Standing by in 3, 2, 1, tacking.
So Nathan, it looks like the Kiwis are going to stay with the American team heading towards the upper left, and early on in the show you told us based on the current there's some relief up there, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're about halfway up the beat now, and you can see them coming up towards the Golden Gate Yacht Club, and the current is definitely a lot more favourable going upwind on the left. We've got a bit of flood on the outside, about a knot or so, and on the inside it's slack water or maybe even a little ebb. So that's why Oracle are happy to get rid of the starboard advantage in this situation and get into the shore and get current relief.
That is a different Dean Barker than we have seen in the Louis Vuitton Cup. His face looks intense, and it should be, considering how this race is going.
To me, it looks like they've come offshore a little further. They had no choice, but they've gone out there anyway, and it looks like they've got a little bit of a right-hand shift, and we're going low mode for a while. But when we go to the helicopter shot here now, it looks like it's starting to go left on the shore. You can see that current line just inside of the boundary, and you'll expect Oracle to tack here pretty soon before this boundary and maybe make a small gain. But again, a very tight cross coming up.
2, 1, here we go, attacking, high build.
So the current will advantage Oracle Team USA on this left-hand side, but the rules a disadvantage. They're on port. Emirates Team New Zealand has rights at the next cross.
Let's go. Go, go, go.
Fast line, we'll get him here. Trim.
Have a look at that. It is another lead change. Now New Zealand's out in front.
Oh, this race has got everything so far. How good is this? This is what we've been waiting for 2 months, and finally we've got it. And it looked like Oracle just didn't make the cross. They slowed a little out of the tack to let New Zealand get across in there. And now we've got another really tight lineup here. Now we're going to find out which boat's faster upwind. This is the first time they've really been close together, not affecting each other's wind, and we'll listen in on board and see what they think.
He is vulnerable if we tack. He has to time it perfectly, Jimmy. He's slightly faster, slightly lower. VMG slightly to him.
Okay, we'll be trying to
I even have him slightly, maybe crossing in attack here.
Okay.
So to me,
I'd like to go pretty
doesn't
soon
sound good for Oracle at this moment. Tom Slingsby's saying they're a little faster, a little lower, and you can see there on the graphics, 24 knots versus 22. So looking like attack coming here from Oracle.
Do it quick, Steve.
2, 1, here we go, attacking.
You expect, yeah, there you go, attacking straight away with them. So they both want to go left, and how impressive is that from Team New Zealand to make that little gain, and now they've got control of the race.
Simultaneous tacks as Emirates Team New Zealand closes the door on Oracle Team USA and solidifies this lead a length and a half.
And that forces Oracle to tack out again. So Dean Barker and his crew, they must be really happy with that maneuver. Oracle were trying to tack, get to shore and get back into the favoured side, and they were able to cover them, force them the wrong way. And I expect at the next cross coming that Emirates Team New Zealand will have a nice little lead.
6, 7 lengths above us. 10 lengths. Backward. Go back, quick girl.
So we're looking at upwind VMG, the fastest course to the next mark, balancing boat speed and course angle.
So what we're looking at here is the top numbers, the boat speed of the boats through the water. The next one is the angle they're sailing to the breeze. And then the bottom one is an overall boat speed and angle put together. So you can see here, Oracle USA, you know, they're going a little bit quicker than Emirates Team New Zealand at the moment. But if you average those two numbers, basically you want to go as fast as you can and as high as you can to the top mark.
Let's set up here, guys. 10. Standing by. 3.
Emirates Team New Zealand looks as though they're getting more comfortable with this lead as they tack yet again.
Come on, boys, stick it in. Going to lay line right. Right that lay.
Good comms on board. Yeah, really good comms on board here. You can see they've tacked in a really good position, and you can see the wing wash shot here. It looks like Oracle are just forward of it. They've got wind coming around the front of Emirates Team New Zealand, so they didn't tack in a position to slow the other team down, but they tacked in a position to maintain control of this race, and that's exactly what they're doing, staying between Oracle and the top mark.
You hear how hard these guys are working on board.
Very different to the races we've seen before where the lead boat just seems to stretch away. These guys are working hard for this lead, and all I can hear on board is just puffing the whole time.
50 seconds to boundary. 50, copy. No rush to drive, that's forced out. Yeah, boundary drive is nice, yeah, great.
I'm just hearing Ray there with the comments. They've tacked on the ley line to the top mark, and now he's feeding information about what are we going to do after the top mark. You know, how far do we have once we come around the mark to the boundary, and they've done an amazing job from leading around the bottom mark to being passed and now back in front again. So it's got to be, they've got to be happy right now.
Oh, I'm sure they are. And now the pressure shifts to Oracle Team USA behind them. This will be the final run on this race course. But it is definitely Emirates Team New Zealand strong as they head around the top marks. It'll be a right-hand turn around the right gate.
Beautiful conditions out there, isn't it? You know, it's sort of 16 to 18 knots and the boat ripping around the mark at 43 knots of boat speed. And from here, you know, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot Oracle can do except follow. Another tacky is going to slow them down, and we'll just watch them around the mark here and listen to what their plan is from here.
So 4 seconds was the delta at the leeward gate here at the top mark. It is 25 seconds, the delta, Emirates Team New Zealand over Oracle Team USA.
45 seconds. 35.
Jimmy Spithill on board, Oracle Team USA. He does not look very happy with this situation.
15. A little bit of a pump on there. Stand by, guys. 10 seconds. Go button, Tommy. Go forward, Simon.
You can see here they have to jibe before the boundary. They don't have many options on this downwind. They had to follow around that top mark, and now they're just relying on boat speed to try and make a gain down this run. But you can see there, 39 knots. It's pretty hard to catch a boat when they're doing 40 knots of boat speed.
Nathan, put yourself inside the head of Jimmy Spithill. Very aggressive on the start. They were behind. They passed them at the leeward mark. They were in a strong position, but then they've got passed again. Now the view in front of them is Emirates Team New Zealand's transom, and that's got to be tough for Spithill to swallow.
It is. It's very tough. You know, obviously they made a mistake on that beat. They let the Kiwis get the starboard tack advantage, and as we saw when they got to the shore, they didn't make the cross. And there's nothing you can do about that now. All they got to do is just keep this boat going fast and just wait for an error to come up ahead. But you know, we've seen the Kiwis sail time and time again, and pretty unlikely that's going to happen. So they just got to keep pushing here, and we'll listen on board and see what their plan is.
Take a little on. Yeah, if you can, Simeon. Little wind.
To me, it looks like from this shot, they do sail a little bit lower than Emirates Team New Zealand, so maybe they've got a little bit more wind than the Kiwis.
Still another 30 seconds.
So very similar in speeds, but do you think the Americans have a little angle advantage sailing downwind?
Yeah, it's just looking from this shot, it looks like they're pointing lower, and you can see on this graphic, very similar speeds, but Emirates Team New Zealand are at an angle of 146, whereas Oracle are at 150. So it looks like they're just making a small gain, and you can see the bottom number, the VMG, is about a knot difference. So, you know, it's 29, 30 knots to 31 knots. So Oracle have a faster boat, as we always thought, but Emirates are doing a great job of getting their boat around the racetrack.
Dean Barker told us in a press conference earlier that if you lead around the top mark going into the final run, it's going to be very hard for the trailing boat to pass. He's in a defensive mode at this point.
Once again, a very nice jibe there, and they weren't under any pressure this time. They knew they had a nice lead, and I could hear Ray Davies the whole time going down. We're just talking about, you know, 2 minutes this way, 1 minute 30 that way. They're just shaping up so they can round the bottom mark without any errors, and looks like they've jibed in a position, so they've got one more jibe and then they're round the bottom mark to the finish from here.
110.
Sounds pretty calm on board now, less puffing, and they're just sort of relaxing into this race. And looking at the boat speeds, I can see on the right-hand side here, it's 40 knots of boat speed at Emirates Team New Zealand at the moment versus a 36 knots from Oracle. So it's pretty puffy out there. The only reason you get those differences in boat speed is because you're in better puffs, and looking like they're just heading down to the ley line out to the left there at the moment, and Oracle have no choice now but to split and try and make a gain going a different direction.
Happy to go. Stand by, guys. Okay, Tommy, go button. Go board, Simeon.
Oracle Team USA off to the right-hand side looking downwind. Jibing back into the center of the course, giving chase to Emirates Team New Zealand. New Zealand doing the same, jibing into the final turning marks. In front of them, the finish line. Behind them, Oracle Team USA. And this is a view that Kiwi fans around the world had hoped to see. An impressive race for the Kiwis so far.
Yeah, very solid of these guys. You know, they made one error at the bottom mark and let Oracle get into the race. Then they lost the lead and then they got it back. So they've got to be pretty happy at the moment.
Here they go, skidding around the final turn. The finish line out in front. It's Emirates Team New Zealand. The delta increasing and time running out for Oracle Team USA.
You can see some of the new features on their boat there in this shot. They've got these new fairings on the aft of the boat, and I wonder if that's made a difference in their performance going forward. I heard a lot of talk about the additions they've made to their boat, and maybe that's what's just helped them out in those tight situations when they need that extra bit of boat speed.
Well, they certainly have it now. Here's the delta as Oracle Team USA rounds the mark, 34 seconds behind the Kiwis. It was close at Mark 1. It was close downwind. It was close upwind again until the Kiwis finally took control. The Americans know it. All of the fans here in San Francisco and at America's Cup Park and around the world, and certainly down at that tiny nation of New Zealand, will be cheering huge right now. The first race of the America's Cup goes to Emirates Team New Zealand. Look at all the fans on shore. Lots of Kiwi flags flying. What a big moment for Dean Barker and his crew.
A massive moment, and you know, probably a huge relief for these guys. No one knew exactly how this race was going to go. I guess they all had their thoughts. No one wanted to say in the public that they were confident they were going to win, and looking at that first bit, you can see why, can't you? It was a tight race all the way until the last top mark.
Well, that race certainly delivered everything we had hoped for, unless you're a fan of this team, Oracle Team USA. The delta, 36 seconds.
Good effort.
And an unhappy Jimmy Spithill on board. What a race.
Yeah, it was amazing. You know, I was shocked at what happened at the bottom mark. You know, Dean made a little error and let Jimmy get in and get the hook around the bottom mark, and then that set up a really tight bead. And then once they got further up the bead, Dean took his chances and made a gain from there.
Dean Barker at the helm of Emirates Team New Zealand. This his 4th America's Cup. Looks calm, happy, and a big sigh of relief. They know they've won this first race, and they definitely earned it.
Check out the crowd down there. There's so many people down here to see this race. We all knew it was going to be a big day, but I've never seen that many people in the park, and it's great to see.
It is standing room only all the way to the back at America's Cup Park. And if they look like they're close to these boats, it's because they definitely are. Just a few lengths from the fans. Never before has the America's Cup racecourse been brought inshore to the fans, and they're loving it. Well, if you came down to America's Cup Park today, you definitely got what you'd hoped to see. Very close racing, very exciting action. If you're a Kiwi fan, just the right race. One up now over that boat, Oracle Team USA, but let's be fair, that race was pretty darn close, and Oracle Team USA has got wheels, don't they?
Oh, they sure do. There's no way you can say that Emirates are going to walk away with this event. You know, yes, they won the first race, but it was really tight racing just from the start, the whole way around, and all it took was just to get slightly out of phase. Dean Barker did a great job of tacking right on top of them halfway up the beat, and then that's where the gains came.
On board, let's listen in to see what Dean Barker has to say.
Dean, congratulations. I know it's just one race, but it's got to feel awfully good to get this campaign underway.
Well, at least it's not going to be a down trail. So always nice to get the first point under the belt. But I think what we saw there was one hell of a yacht race, and it's it's only going to get harder. So, you know, we're obviously very happy with the way we sailed in that one. The guys did a really good job. Yeah, nice to sneak away with a win.
Hey, Dean, great race. Congratulations. Upwind, downwind. I mean, we all anticipate what is going to happen in this first America's Cup race always. Give us your gut feel. Reaching, downwind, upwind. How do the boats stack up against each other?
It's just too early to say. You know, I think we seem like we're reasonably competitive upwind. It's hard to see terribly much in it downwind. I don't know whether you guys saw anything down there, but I think it just still comes down to a little bit of positioning. And that first run, we had a nice start, nice little lead, and they just got a little bit closer to Alcatraz and carried slightly better pressure. And yeah, next intersection, it was just a little bit too close. So yeah, we certainly yeah, we're going to have to be on our game, you know, to keep beating these guys.
Dean, a lot of protests out there between both boats, you and them. Getting a little emotional out there between you and Spithill?
I don't know what they were pushing their wife flag button for so much. I think they were getting a little carried away. But I guess rugby's racing, and you know, as long as we actually keep the boats apart, well, it'll be good.
Dean, congratulations. I know it's just one win, but you're 8 away from claiming the America's Cup. We'll let you get ready for race number 2.
Yeah, thanks. Cheers, guys.
So you heard Dean Barker, as long as they keep the boats apart, it'll be good. Well, they certainly didn't keep much distance between them in the first half of that race, did they?
No, we knew Jimmy was going to be quite aggressive, and he kept asking, you know, didn't understand why so many white flags kept being pressed, and not once did we see a penalty, so the umpires are on top of it, and I never saw anything that was worth giving a penalty, but great to see how close they were pushing it out there. Looks like they're on board here with Oracle, and looks like they're doing a jib change, so you know, maybe the breeze has built a little bit, and this is why they're just going to a smaller sail for the next race.
So the teams will regroup, reassess the setup of their boats, and Nathan, as you said, their sail selection for the headsail.
It's always a big call what to do before the race. You know, you've got a few things that you can choose. You've got to pick your jib before the start. You've got to decide if you want a code 0. And this morning there was a lot of talk about the code 0s being used, but obviously
the code 0 being the larger Gennikers that they put up for the downwind run.
Exactly, yeah, the downwind sails, which seem to be around the 8 to 10 knots wind range, is when you would want to use it, anything under that. And as we saw it there, the breeze built up for that, so no need for that. But now it's a tough call on what jib to use, and Oracle obviously made the choice straight away to go to a smaller jib for the next race. And you know, they've got the shore crew and all the support team on there helping him out, and I guess, you know, the guys at the back of the boat, JK and Jimmy, are going to be having a bit of a chat and a think about, you know, what mistakes did we make in that race? Why didn't we lead around Mark 1, and what can we do better? And these guys are professionals, so it's not going to be an issue for them. I expect to see them, you know, sending it again in the next one.
Well, it was Emirates Team New Zealand to windward, rolling over Oracle Team USA. Do you think we'll see Spithill trying to fight for the windward position in race 2?
Yeah, there's a good chance. You know, we saw that Oracle were entering on the starboard tack, and in typical match racing, that would be the advantaged end. But when you enter on port with the new rules and the way they offset the line and the 10-second advantage, it allowed Emirates Team New Zealand only to make one manoeuvre. They just had to do one tack around, and then that forces Oracle to make a tough call whether they're going to lead them back and be early or have to go past and follow. So this race, I think we're going to see Oracle entering on port, and it's their turn to make the first decision in the pre-start.
Well, we're going to go on board with Jimmy Spithill, the helmsman of Oracle Team USA. And Jimmy, what an amazing race. The boats were incredibly close. What are your thoughts on your boat's performance versus Emirates Team New Zealand?
I thought it was very similar. I thought both boats very, very close. We had a couple of incidents, you know, a few protest flags, and yeah, a great race, really.
Yeah, Jimmy and Nathie, I was you know, really impressed to see how close the racing was and how aggressive it is. And you know, obviously a lot of YFACs being pressed out there in the first race. You happy with all the umpires' decisions, or you got a different idea of it all?
No, I mean, look, it was pretty close. All the calls were a little surprised here and there, but I mean, all in all, it was. I think it sort of evened out, and yeah, it was a great little battle. And looking forward to the next one.
Well, Jimmy, speaking of the next one, what are you planning on doing differently, if anything, in the next race?
Well, winning it, of course.
Will you take a different approach on the pre-start, leeward position, windward position?
Yeah, we actually thought we might have just got round there, but they were obviously able to accelerate a little better just before we got to the reach mark there. So, yeah, we'll have a look at it this start, but we're expecting a tough race. I think it'll be like this the whole series, and we're going to see if we can get out there and get the afternoon race.
Well, it certainly is fantastic for us to watch you guys down on the water. Good luck in the next race, Jimmy.
Thank you.
You can see how much spray's on board when the windward dagger board goes in and out of the water, and they've got little spray deflectors on the boats to ensure it doesn't get in their face. You can see that inflatable tube just on the inside there that blocks it from the crew, but pretty wet ride out there for these boys.
And slippery too. We saw one crew member fall overboard in practice before today's race. Do you think that shook up the team at all, Oracle Team USA?
Nah, probably just shook up Joey, who fell overboard, but you know, they're back on board, and these guys are professionals. I'm sure they've fallen off before. I know Jimmy's stepped off the boat once or twice, so not a huge issue.
Well, what was funny was seeing Oracle Team USA, or rather Emirates Team New Zealand's tender, making sure he was okay and then snapping a few photos of Joey in the water.
A couple of photos just to proof that they did fall over there. It's always funny.
There's the shot from Regardless, our race committee boat. 3 minutes, 54 seconds to go. On board with Oracle Team USA.
Just going to turn up here. Here we go. Just cruising here,
So Nathan,
boys.
if you were these guys, what is the pre-start plan? What are you thinking? How are you going to win this race and turn the tides?
Well, they're on port this time, so they're going to enter on port. They only have the one maneuver to do, so it's going to be really important to make sure they make that tack or jibe at the right moment. And then they just got to get their time on distance better. It looked like Dean and Ray did a better job of getting the time on distance better to the start line. These guys are about half a length behind, and they just need to fix that, and they'll probably lead around Mark 1.
Just going to tack onto lay there.
So we're coming up on the 3-minute mark for the start of race number 2, day number 1 of the America's Cup here in San Francisco, and the breeze is up. Flag number 4 went away. That means we are less than 3 minutes to go to the start.
As you can see, they've swapped sides this time on board here. Emirates Team New Zealand sitting out on the right-hand side, so they're going to be entering at 2 minutes, whereas Oracle get the 10-second advantage. And it'll be really interesting to see if they have the same strategies or if Jimmy's going to be just as aggressive when he's on the port tack.
We've said time and time again that the boat that enters on port from the left has an advantage, Nathan, in the pre-start. How much do you think that'll help Oracle Team USA in the second race?
I think that'll be a big help to them. And, you know, Chris Draper made a good comment in the halftime show about how good Dean Barker and the boys did about entering spot on the 2 minutes 10. To me, it's shaping up that Oracle is slightly late here, but we'll see how they go.
So 2 minutes 10, the time they're supposed to enter the line. 2 minutes 4 seconds is when they do. Oracle Team USA into the start box first. At 2 minutes, it's Emirates Team New Zealand next on starboard. Here we go, the pre-start of race 2.
And Jimmy was pretty late there, and what that's allowed to do is allow Dean to do a really good foiling jibe right behind him. So Dean's been able to put a little bit more pressure on Jimmy here. If Jimmy goes into attack now, then Dean will be able to slot in underneath him quite nicely.
So the next maneuver is Oracle Team USA's. What would you do, tack or jibe?
Well, I think they're going to tack because it's flooding out there so much. A jibe puts you below the pin and lay line. And Dean's going to roll into attack to leeward of him here. And now it's the question of, do you roll and do you want to lead, or are you happy to sit up above?
Well, we saw Emirates Team New Zealand starting above in the first race. This is sort of a repeat of what we saw in the first start, but the opposite. Now it's Oracle Team USA reaching over the top of Emirates Team New Zealand. 1 minute to go to the start, and Oracle now has set up for the leeward position.
Yeah, well, Oracle went for the roll there, and looks like they might have gone slightly too aggressive because they've now let Team New Zealand a little bit ahead of them. And these boats are hard enough to sail at the best of times, but when you're engaging in pre-start activities like this, you can see the whole time how low Oracle's bows are under the water.
Now New Zealand reaches over the bow of Oracle Team USA, but that doesn't work. They'll slow down. They'll set up to windward, and it looks like.
And watch for Jimmy here going for the hook. You hear him, he's going for the hook, and he's going to try and stop him in this start.
Oh, we could see contact there. New Zealand could be in trouble.
12.
Protest from Oracle Team USA. We'll see how the umpires make the call, but it's 5 seconds now to go to the start. Both boats are slow. Oracle Team USA in the wing wash of New Zealand. The gun is off, but the boats are not. No penalty, it's all clear. Emirates Team New Zealand accelerates first.
And again, another great start by Dean. He pushed hard there to defend his position as the lead boat. Jimmy went for the penalty and didn't get it. And now it's all about boat speed across the first reach.
On board Oracle Team USA. Can they hang in there to leeward of Emirates Team New Zealand heading into mark number 1?
It looks exactly the same as race 1. Dean just got a slightly better start. Better angle being the windward boat, and now he can just bear away on his own time.
An amazing start from Emirates Team New Zealand gives them the lead at mark number 1. This time the delta only 2 seconds over Oracle Team USA.
And it's all going to come down to this first jibe here. Both boats going basically the same speed. And you can hear them setting up on Emirates Team New Zealand. Jimmy might go further again this time. Let's just wait and see.
So the Kiwis set up for the jibe. Oracle Team USA, will they pounce on top of them or will they continue? Oracle Team USA will jibe first. New Zealand continues, and now the Kiwis will set up.
Good racing there, and it comes down to both boats. Again, foil jibing, and it's all about how quickly you can get your boat up to that top speed again and moving out to a nice little lead here for Emirates Team New Zealand. They're bow forward, so they've got fresh air and they're to leeward, and there's no pressure on them now for the next jibe from this position.
So New Zealand out in front for now. Let's go back into the pre-start and see how it happened.
So here it looks like Jimmy's going to go for the hook. And he goes quite aggressively for the hook, and he tries to get some contact here to get a penalty. So he looked like he was going high risk there, trying to get the penalty. And what happened in the end is instead of having the penalty go his way, he then lost control of the pre-start. Check out how close they are.
Unbelievable. Tough to tell whether there was contact there, but certainly New Zealand got the lead, and there was no penalty in that pre-start, but now it's pretty close. Heading downwind, Oracle Team USA on the offensive, New Zealand on the defense. On board with Emirates Team New Zealand.
Okay, they're setting up to jibe here near the boundary now. Both boats will jibe at the exact same time here. Oracle just went slightly early, and again, Emirates Team New Zealand jibing to leeward and in front, and that's a really strong position tactically there from Ray Davies.
37 target. 36-7.
The best way for Oracle to make gains here and make a passing manoeuvre is to get on the opposite tack, and Emirates Team New Zealand have done a good job of just staying close to them the whole way down the run. And for us as a viewer, it's great because we get to see now which is the faster of the two boats, and they're also probably having a nice little check in themselves.
Well, remember race number 1, Nathan, you thought Oracle Team USA looked like they had a lower angle, a better course into the next mark downwind. What do you think now?
Let's go on board. It looks like they are pointing a little bit lower at the moment. Let's just go on board with Oracle and hear what they're talking about.
Past intersection. Happy to set up and go.
So what JK was saying there is we're passing a section. We can jibe now and make the bottom mark on the ley line. If they jibe any earlier than where they are here, they're going to hit a boundary and be forced to do an extra jibe. And you'll see both boats jibing at the exact same time. So they have the same information on board. And Emirates is just blocking every manoeuvre that Oracle is trying to make.
15 seconds the other
Looks like Oracle Team USA a little bit faster.
Going a little bit faster, but both boat speeds jump up and down. Like they'll sit at 39, 40 knots as their top speed and then a bottom speed of 36. So it's keeping it in the groove. That's the job of Glenn Ashby and Dean Barker and Emirates Team New Zealand, to keep the boat going as fast as possible. And then they're just basically doing as they're told. Ray's telling them what the plan is. And I heard him say there before, right-hand mark at the bottom. So expect to see a right-hand turn down at the bottom here.
15 to jibe. 10, 9, 10. Yep.
So a right-hand turn looking downwind means they're going to want to head left, looking upwind towards the Golden Gate Bridge, right?
Exactly, and as we saw from that current graphic earlier, it looks like there's a little bit of an ebb or a current going against the wind, so that's the favoured way to go up the beat now.
So New Zealand is in command of which way to go around the leeward gates. It'll be a right-hand turn around the left-hand mark, heading inshore in the lead over Oracle Team USA. These boats in race number 1 were a bit closer at this bottom mark, just coming off the foils there. Oracle Team USA around 7 seconds behind.
A little bit of a wobbly bottom mark running there. It's really difficult to do those bottom mark runnings because you got to adjust the foil rate quite a lot as you go around, and it looked like they just had a little bit too much lift on the foil and did a little wheelie just before they came around, and then the windward hull comes crashing down. So
I'd like to try and continue hold here for a little bit, okay?
Talking about, Nathan.
yes, exactly. It's just a little bit too much lift there on the foil, as we see on the replay here, and you can watch on board one more time. Watch the windward hull crash down, and that's never a good feeling as you're rounding the mark. You want to keep these boats nice and smooth. The smoother you can be on board these boats, the better they're going to travel.
So the delta was 7 seconds. That slowed them down for sure, and I'll bet the delta's a little bit more to Emirates Team New Zealand now.
We all are immersion, right?
John Kostecki calling the shots for Jimmy Spithill. What are their options?
Well, their options here is they're trying to sail a high mode. They've come around the bottom mark. Both boats are on starboard tack. And their whole goal here is to try and keep the boat as high as they can to block Emirates Team New Zealand from tacking. You can see the current here is pushing the boats back up when they've just come into the ebb now, which is going up against the wind. And you can see here both boats sailing slow. 20 knots is a slow mode for these boats upwind.
If you can call that slow,
If you can call that slow. Whereas a low mode might be 25 or 26. So both boats sailing as high as they can, and I expect they're going to get to the boundary, and the Emirates Team New Zealand will use the boundary as the right of way to come out on port and make the cross.
See that boundary to the upper left-hand side of your screen. That's new in this America's Cup. Here are the VMGs. Velocity made good, the balance of speed and angle.
Yeah, and what you can see here is the angle there. 38, 39 by both boats. They're really squeezing it into the wind as much as they can here. And their VMG boat speeds are fairly similar. I think Emirates Team New Zealand's probably slightly quicker here. But on the last bit, we were seeing them in the 16s and 17 knots on VMG. So they're definitely sailing a higher mode, which is not ideal for their speed.
Yeah. What do you want to do? Gonna go before him, or you want to go the other side, mate?
You can hear them trying to decide are they going before or after here.
Better make that decision quick. Here comes Emirates Team New Zealand tacking to port and crossing from the left.
Stand by, guys.
That mode was good before, Dino. Would have been the simo with him.
So you can hear that Ray Davies saying to Dean Barker he was really happy with the mode we were sailing, and now we just want to simo them. That basically means we just want to do exactly what the other boat's doing. We're in front. They know that Oracle has to do a big job here to pass them, and if they can just keep doing exactly what they're doing, then they're going to stay in front. You can see the tide line there. That's the ebb, the dirty water pushing out of the bay, and they're about to start to sail out of the ebb and expect them to go back left as we look further up the beat.
Staying on the inside.
On board, Emirates Team New Zealand.
Pushing us into a little bit worse current. At some point we'd end up just going in and doing our own thing. We've got to really make sure we're in phase. Yeah. This is pretty right hand here. We're gaining all the time.
Be ready to be, as soon as he tacks them here on, we go with them.
Yeah, 100%.
Great comms on board, isn't it? You can hear them saying we're gauging here, we're making gains, and as soon as they go to tack, we're going to go straight with them. And you can see here the difference between race 1 and race 2 again is the current is going with them as they go up the course, stronger on the left-hand side, but it's not a huge factor. I think it's more about sailing in the breeze, and for Emirates Team New Zealand, just staying between Oracle and the next mark.
Grant Dalton, the director of Emirates Team New Zealand, 56 years old, still one of the fittest guys on the boat. Off the water, he's in charge of this team. On the water, he's on the pumps, the handles, the grinders. Here comes attack from Oracle Team USA.
You'd expect Emirates to go straight with them based on the conversation we just heard.
Feels like we're turning too hard. Second half.
And just as you said, Nathan, it's Emirates Team New Zealand's turn to tack and protect their lead over Oracle Team USA. Both teams heading back to the left inshore to that favorable ebb current.
It's really tough to make a gain here now for Oracle. They're basically being covered the whole way around the course. Even if they are going to be going faster, it's tough. And you can see here on board, you know, Jimmy and Kyle. This is Kyle's first big day in the America's Cup. Youngest boy on the boat, and doing a great job trimming the wing, because clearly the boat speed's pretty similar.
That's Kyle just running off screen there to the new windward side of the boat. In the next tack as they cross, Oracle Team USA still behind Emirates Team New Zealand. That does not look like a very happy Jimmy Spithill.
No, it doesn't. You know, last race was much closer than this, and this race they're behind about 260 metres and really not having much of a chance of getting back into this race with the way that the Kiwis are sailing. And he's just got to be thinking, all right, we'll just keep pushing here and just keep waiting for our opportunity.
So Oracle had tack. Now it's Emirates Team New Zealand's turn to check back into the middle of the course as the fans are treated to a fantastic view off of Marina Green in the America's Cup Village, halfway up this upwind leg.
And looking at the tacks just from you know, the shots we're seeing here from the helicopters, amazing pictures. It looks like Team New Zealand are tacking slightly better. What you can see is they have a self-tacking jib as opposed to Oracle, where they have to keep tacking the jib, and it looks like every tack Oracle's jib's just flapping a little bit too long, and probably that setup or that decision was made a year ago, and looks like Emirates set up for better boat handling in terms of ease of sailing the boat. And they're also managing the boards really nicely in the tacks. Every time they tack, they seem to be foiling that hull right around, and I think that's where the gains are coming from at the moment.
Okay, stand by. 3, 2, 1, here we go.
One of the biggest splits we've seen in the race so far. With these new course boundaries, you can't really bang the corner. You can't go all the way out to one side or the other like you could in previous Americas.
No, exactly. The boundaries are brought in nice and close, and there's no banging the corners out there on this race course. They might go boundary to boundary, but you know, they all know which way they want to go. They want to go on the left-hand side, and they're just tacking up the shore. And here we see a quick glimpse of foiling upwind, and obviously a right-hand shift here, so they're putting the bow down, trying to get the boat to go fast and get back into the advantage current.
On board, Emirates Team New Zealand, the prod cam on the bow. You can just see that leeward hull on the right-hand side, jumping out of the water a little bit. That's the upwind foiling you were referring to, Nathan, right?
Exactly. Just trying to get the leeward hull out of the water. Every time that leeward hull's in the water, it's extra drag. And we've been seeing them practicing this throughout the Louis Vuitton series. And there's just moments in the race when you want to be foiling upwind. And that obviously, there was a moment where they wanted to go low and fast, get rid of the hull, get it out of the water, get rid of the drag. And the whole time you're sailing upwind, you are having lift on the foil. And you can see on the left-hand side of this picture, they're just starting to lift the bow out, and every now and then the whole hull comes out, but the last thing you want is too much lift, because then you get massive leeway.
How far is it to right gain lay?
20 seconds we can get to right gain lay. We'll be looking to hit him on this next one. Yeah.
Definitely going to hit him on this next one, boys.
We'll be looking to hit him on this next one. What does that mean, Nathan?
Well, that means they're just looking to lure it at Oracle. Both boats are on port tack at the moment, and when Oracle tack on the starboard tack, hitting him means we're just going to tack straight on him. We're not going to give him a chance to get past. So look for when Oracle make the next tack for Emirates Team New Zealand to tack straight on top of it.
And here it comes as if on cue. Oracle Team USA tacking on to starboard, converging with the Kiwis' course. And there it is. The Kiwis also tacking as per plan. Now both boats on starboard heading to the left. The next turning marks gate number 3 off in the distance.
And here it looks like they're shaping up for another right-hand turn at the top mark. So not many options here for Jimmy to get it past. And let's just keep an eye on board of what their plan is from here.
One and in right.
Yeah, like one and in right, boys.
So it sounds like both teams have the same plan. One and in right means one tack, and then we're going to go to the right-hand mark looking upward.
5, 3, 2, 1, action. You ready? Lay line again. Stop for a little leak.
So it's Team New Zealand in the lead with the luxury to tack first onto port and head into that right-hand gate, looking upwind. There are the marks just off in the corner. Strong position for Emirates Team New Zealand. And just like you said, Nathan, Oracle Team USA has the same plan, right gate, right-hand turn.
It's almost the only option, because if you take the left mark looking upwind, you can see how much softer the breeze is in towards the shore, and they only have about 20 seconds before the first job, so a very difficult maneuver to pull off.
Go early.
Listening in with Emirates Team New Zealand. Race 1 of the Louis Vuitton Cup Finals. This moment right here, they dug both bows in, but all comfortable on board the all-Kiwi boat as they rip downwind and pop up on the foils. Out in the lead.
Just watch on board here. They'll be looking at a jibe pretty soon as they approach the boundary on the northern side of the racecourse.
Well, as the time in this race decreases, the time for Oracle Team USA increases. The delta between the two boats in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. 40 seconds and counting. Now it's Oracle Team USA's turn. Right-hand gate. As they start to foil downwind, the difference, 46 seconds. So Oracle Team USA already having jibed, heading back into the middle of the downwind leg. Or Emirates Team New Zealand, rather, out in front. Oracle Team USA running out of options, Nathan Outerbridge.
It's tough from here. They don't really have any options, as we saw at the top mark. Both teams wanted to go right and right mark, and they just end up sailing to the boundary here, as we can see, and their tracks are going to be basically the same. They just have to follow because there's no passing lanes at the top of the course. Where we might see something interesting happening is halfway down the course, but once you get this far behind, it's pretty tough for them to get back into the race.
Foil to foil jibes, a thing of the norm in this America's Cup. A beautiful job for Oracle Team USA, but is it too little too late? There is the difference in the view from on board the American boat as the Kiwis rip downwind for the last time, heading for the finish. See the red on the water there, the course for Emirates Team New Zealand.
50 seconds the
Looks
other
a bit
way.
not quite straight, a little zigzag there.
Yeah, it's a little bit zigzag, and I think that's to do with the puffs that are on the race course. It's quite a puffy venue here, sailing in San Francisco, and not always is it easy to sail in a straight line, and every time you get a gust of breeze, you just end up bearing away and soaking it down a little. So that's why you see these boats always a bit wobbly around the racetrack.
Beautiful. Minute 20 to intersection.
On board Oracle Team USA. Kyle Langford replacing Dirk de Ritter as the wing trimmer. That was a last-minute replacement. So he's in a new position and the youngest guy on the boat. A lot of pressure.
Yeah, definitely a lot of pressure on his shoulders today, and he'll be happy to get back to the dock and have an assessment of how he went. But I think he's done an amazing job. He's done a lot of sailing on these boats as well. Everyone needs a spare sailor in their team in case someone gets an injury, and he stepped up to the challenge pretty good today.
150 this way, 50 the other. 34 intersection.
The next jibe. from Emirates Team New Zealand. Foil to foil, beautiful. Dean Barker just taking his time. I remember watching the first jibe in that first race, Nathan. He was sprinting as fast as he could, the adrenaline up, the nerves. Right now, we're seeing a pretty cool and relaxed Dean Barker.
Yeah, exactly. Once the boats are close together, you know how important and how urgent it is to do the job properly and get across the boat. And once you have a nice lead like the Kiwis do at the moment, there's no rush to do anything. It's just back to what it would be like in the training session, and these guys are doing a great job. And you see here at the back of the boat, Ray Davies shifting across the boat. He's down there, he's starting to look at the bottom marks, calling the angle, and you know, there's a little wobble there on board, but not a major issue, and they're just going to go to lay line from here and pick the lay line and round the bottom mark.
20 seconds.
20 seconds, you can hear them on board. That's Ray Davies talking to Dean. Time to the next jibe.
And as you can see on the top of the picture there, Oracle Team USA also jibing and following, because it's the way the race course goes. There's not many chances for them to get back into it from here.
Both of these teams have software on board, you were telling me before the race, and it tells them exactly where they are on the course and when to jibe. So it's no wonder we're seeing both teams sailing in the exact same tracks on the race course.
Exactly. They have like a little iPad on their person, and Ray Davies uses that to help him pick the ley lines. But you know, they've done over 100 days sailing on this boat now and been here for a very long time, so there's no surprise. These guys are professional sailors, and they get it right basically every time.
Well, New Zealand has certainly got it right both times today for this day number 1 of the America's Cup. A high-speed right-hand turn as they bring it home to the fans of America's Cup Park and everybody here in San Francisco. They put on quite a masterful show. If you've ever wondered what it's like to get shot in the face with a fire hose, just have a sail on board an AC-72, right, Nathan?
That's the thing. You sail these boats around at 40 knots of boat speed, and you don't realize how fast you're going until the windward hull touches the water and you get 40 knots of water in your face. So you can see them duck for cover every time that happens there.
Dean Barker at the helm. He won the last race of the successful defense in 2000, the America's Cup in New Zealand. A devastating loss of their defense in 2003, and an even more devastating loss in 2007 to Alingi. That 1 second final finish. Dean Barker has that in his head. He's not going to rest on his laurels, but he is going to be proud of his team, and certainly the Kiwi Nation will as well. Emirates Team New Zealand goes up 2-0 over Oracle Team USA. The fans celebrating on shore, but not too much celebration aboard the Kiwi boat, right, Nathan?
No, they know there's a very long way to go. They'll be feeling more relieved than happy at the moment. You know, they've been training for 3 years for this event, for this race, for this day, and you know, they're just extremely probably satisfied inside knowing they've got a long way to go still.
Well, so has Oracle Team USA. They put a lot of effort into their 2-boat program. Here we go, day number 1 of the America's Cup, and they go down with 2 losses to Emirates Team New Zealand. So how do you think they feel on board, and what can they do to turn things around tomorrow?
I think they would have learned a lot today. You know, yes, they didn't win either of their races, but I think they were, you know, they can take a lot out of it. Some of their starts were quite good. I think they need to work on their time on distance in the pre-starts and really work on getting a split if they are behind to make a chance of getting into it.
Bad luck.
One circle here.
You can hear Jimmy Spithill telling the guys, well done, but bad luck. That is not a happy American team today.
And I heard JK saying no penalty in the pre-start there, so obviously they were hoping for that penalty as a big part of their pre-start plan.
So a frustrated Jimmy Spithill and a very happy Dean Barker as he gives the fans a flyby with Emirates Team New Zealand the victor today in races 1 and 2 of the America's Cup. Look at that. And you can hear the fans on board. They're quite happy as well.
You or me?
Yeah, right.
Listen to him, Nathan. That's fantastic.
Plenty of
Look at all
passionate
those
Kiwis
people.
down there, isn't there?
I remember when you guys crossed the finish line for the last race with Artemis Racing, and the fans were just as happy. That must have been a pretty cool moment for you guys.
It was, yeah, it was an amazing moment. You know, we had a really good series. You know, obviously we didn't get to win any of the races, but for us, we enjoyed it. And the amount of support we got here from the general public of San Francisco was a great feeling, and something I'd never really felt in any event I've competed in before.
It also seems if you walk around America's Cup Park, you talk to the fans, they seem to be pretty divided right down the middle. An immense amount of support for Emirates Team New Zealand. A lot of Kiwis have made the trip up here, but equally so for Oracle Team USA. Lots of American flags supporting the hometown team. And there's a lot more racing to go in this best of 17 America's Cup match. Here comes the support crew for Emirates Team New Zealand alongside with refreshments and lunch, and perhaps the shore crew gets right into it and looks over the boat, make sure everything's okay for tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll be, you know, obviously coming on board with, you know, drinks and things like that, but they do get the shore crew on straight away if there's any issues, to just try and check over it before they take it back to the mooring. And part of racing these boats is making sure that they stay together, and that starts the moment you finish the race. So they'll do a big check over on both these boats as soon as they get back to the dock.
Well, one boat that sounds like they'll have some work to do on their wing is Oracle Team USA. Remember that little bit of damage up top before that race. Dean Barker smiling and waving to the crowds and having a bit of a snack. He's earned it after winning that second race. We go on board to hear from Dean Barker himself.
A lot of work still to go. They need 7 more wins as we go on board Emirates Team New Zealand. And Ray Davies, the tactician. Ray, congratulations. You couldn't have dialed up a better situation for you and your crew.
Yeah, thanks a lot. No, that was a fantastic day. We're really happy with how it all panned out.
Hey, Ray, Kenny Reed here. Congratulations. Great job. Hey, take us back to that pre-start. Jimmy kind of came at you guys. You maybe a little early or a little below that lay line. He gave a quick luff. It looked really close between the boats.
Yeah, we just managed to stay bow forward and keep far enough forward that he couldn't quite get to us. Definitely a touch and go moment of the race, but you know, Dean did a really nice job of judging that. You wanted to have him tucked in close to us, but obviously not close enough. This is an issue for us, so that was spot on. That was pretty much the race right there at that moment.
Ray, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations. We'll see you back on the water tomorrow.
Thank you.
So Ray Davies quite happy with that race, the tactician for Emirates Team New Zealand, and he should be.
Yeah, exactly. They've done exactly what they wanted to do today and come out here and get 2 bullets, and they go to bed tonight, you know, feeling pretty relaxed about the rest of the week and knowing that, you know, they're ahead, but there's still a long way to go.
A long way to go for both teams, for sure. Oracle Team USA, by many accounts, was thought to have the faster boat, at least early on. Emirates Team New Zealand, much more stable platform and perhaps better crew work. These two teams have effectively come together in their design curves and their crew work improvement to be relatively even, certainly in race number 1. And I think race number 2 doesn't really show how close these boats are in terms of speed and maneuvers.
Exactly, and I wonder if that damage to the wing did slow the boat down at all. You know, they weren't quite the same speed as Emirates Team New Zealand, but, you know, also they didn't really get a split like in race 1. They got a split at the bottom of the course, and that gave them a good chance to get back into the race. And I thought that the Kiwis did a good job of just never giving these guys a chance to get back into the race, and it's tough when you're in that position.
Well, it seems the start is a lot of the race, isn't it? Now we're on board with Jimmy Spithill, Oracle Team USA. He's preparing to talk to us. Jimmy, a tough day for you guys out on the water this afternoon. What are your thoughts after race number 2?
Yeah, obviously not the result we wanted. I think the boats are very close. I thought the boys did a good job on board. we're a little surprised there. We thought he was going to get a penalty off the start there, but it didn't happen, and we just weren't able to accelerate as quick as they were. So very difficult to come back from behind. They didn't make many mistakes after that. But look, the boats are very close, and tomorrow's another day.
Yeah, Jimmy, Nathan, really impressive. You know, I like the aggression in the start, and I thought you were slightly hard done by there by the umpires in that pre-start. But you know, you got to be happy that the boat's performing nicely, and you know, you guys are having a really tight race. Was that wing damage an issue throughout the race course? We saw you guys looking at it a lot. Just explain to us what kind of damage you had there.
Yeah, we're like I said, we're a little surprised with the umpire call, but we had the film, just the Clysar starting to come off the wing, and we were sort of questionable whether we were going to race or not, but the boys made a good call that we could get around the racetrack and wouldn't stop us, so it didn't really affect us at all.
Jimmy, it seemed like you guys fought hard in both races for the leeward end. Was that your plan, and what are your thoughts on both pre-starts?
Yeah, the first race I actually wanted to be tighter under him. He had a little bit of gauge and was able to sort of get over the top. The second race, we wanted to be tight under him, which we were, and we went for the hook, and we thought he fouled us, but we just didn't accelerate as good as they did, and unfortunately he just got round us again at that reach mark, and from then on it was very difficult to come back into it, and they did a pretty nice job.
Well, Jimmy, one thing you and your crew have shown us is that the boats look very even, the crew work looks very even, and there's a lot more racing to go. Good luck to you and your team tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
So, Nathan, we've seen the weather. We've looked at the current. Give us an idea on the strategy if you were racing on the course today.
Yeah, it's a big day for both these teams, and you know, they would have been going through the weather and having a look at this, and I think the big thing for their strategy is waiting to see what this fog's going to do. But to me, with the flood at the moment, it's going to be a pretty straightforward race up the cone around the bottom mark. So look for them to go around the left-hand mark looking downwind, and then transition to the left-hand side of the course towards the top of the race.
So there is a look at the pre-start entry box. We are 20 seconds away from the first boat to enter, and it'll be these guys. Oracle Team USA, a 10-second advantage given to the port boat, the boat on the left in the start. That's done for safety reasons. In these overpowered catamarans, here we go, bow down. The pre-start of race number 3 about to get underway. There it is, 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Oracle Team USA a little bit behind.
Yeah, again, really late here, 5 seconds late. I know it doesn't sound like much, but it's quite an important moment here. Just see how Emirates come in here. They look like they're a few seconds late as well, but expect them to enter here and roll straight into a jibe. And Jimmy's got a big decision to make here in this race.
And that decision is?
The decision is exactly when to turn around and come back to the line. We expect him to turn around in about 1 minute 30, and it's a question of attack or a jibe, and that often depends on where Dean's positioned himself.
Just look at the speed of those two boats ripping through the pre-start as we tick down the seconds. Minute 30, it's time to make a maneuver according to Nathan Outeridge, and you are spot on. Here comes Oracle Team USA, bow down in that jibe. And that slowed them down a bit.
Not a very good jibe there at all by these boys. They knew they needed to jibe, and I guess maybe rushed it slightly, and that's forced Dean to roll into attack now. So they've achieved what they wanted to achieve, but not the prettiest way to do it.
And what is that? Is that pre-start jitters? Is that nerves from being 2 down? What do you think?
I'm not sure. It could be just a conversation, attack or a jibe. When you roll into attack, you need to take the lift out of the boards. When you roll into a jibe, you've got to increase the lift. So maybe they just got their board settings wrong there briefly.
Bow to bow now, 50 seconds to go. Both boats sprinting towards the starting line. It's a time on distance game at this point.
100%, and it looks like again here are both boats in similar positions to the last 2 races. Dean taking the windward end, and maybe they're a little bit late here because they're both charging back at the line, but pretty fast. 35 knots. He really wants to get across of Jimmy Spittle here at the moment.
20 seconds and counting. Emirates Team New Zealand has placed themselves between Oracle Team USA and the start. Here comes Spithill from behind. His bow's down. He's going for the line. New Zealand looks bow forward, but a little bit slower. The countdown to the start, and here we go.
All clear. All clear.
To me, there it looked like they were both a little bit late. Dean got a little bit too close to the line, so hard to accelerate. And that might give Jimmy the chance to sail straight through underneath and lead around Mark 1 here.
There's a look at the wing wash coming off of Emirates Team New Zealand's wing, and it has not hit the Americans yet. Now, if Oracle Team USA can get into that yellow zone, overlapped inside, they may be able to round ahead.
And I think that's exactly what's about to happen. It's going to be touch and go, and he's selling him off the course here. We've got great match racing action here. Awesome stuff. And that little luff there, you can see how that really put Dean off his game. And watch him, he's out of here. There's a protest being made here, so we've got heaps of action at Mark 1.
So a penalty flag flying from both boats, and what have we got here? That did fluster Dean Barker. You were absolutely right, and he got a penalty. The first penalty in the 34th America's Cup goes to the Kiwis.
Oh, how awesome is that? Jimmy's super aggressive on Mark 1, draws the penalty, and now he's going to roll into a jibe and hopefully just sail away down this run.
Well, that is the aggression you expected from Jimmy Spithill and Oracle Team USA. They came out with all guns blazing and have turned a penalty into a lead.
Yeah, definitely there, and they cleared the penalty very quickly there. It looks like they were able to slow the boat fast, so we've still got a really tight race here. It looked like a much better jibe there by Emirates Team New Zealand. You can see them gaining here all the time, and Jimmy's just got to say to the boys, all right, we won the start, we got the penalty, let's keep it simple and lead around the bottom mark here.
Let us know on the mode, Tommy, when you can.
Go deeper if we can.
A little deeper if anything, Cole. Guys.
Got me coming on. Push on all the way to boundary.
You can hear the boys on board. They're talking about their mode. Jimmy asking Tom Slingsby behind him, tell me about the mode. What do you want me to do here? Tommy goes, we want to sail a little bit lower. Jimmy goes straight to Kyle and says, make the wing deeper. Let's go lower.
Nathan, let's go back and look at a replay of that penalty around mark number 1. Here we go.
And Jimmy quite aggressive here. Gives him the luff right there. And a big bow down and into the barrelway. And these boats are going so fast. And we saw how aggressive he was yesterday. And finally, he got the penalty he's been looking for.
72 feet long, capable of over 50 miles an hour. And just look at how close and how hard they whip those boats around. There you saw where the penalty occurred. And Oracle Team USA pulls ahead. They're still ahead. Both teams are jibing on the left-hand side of the downwind run.
And this is the first time we've ever seen Emirates Team New Zealand behind on the first proper downwind leg. And let's just really have a good close look at what their plan is to get back into this race. We've seen how hard it is when you're trailing to get past. Let's see what their plan is now that they're behind.
So we'll pick a time to take right gate, I think, Dino.
Push us over.
If he goes for right gate, we'll take left as well.
So what you hear there is Ray talking to Dean, and he's talking about which bottom mark to go around. They want to go the right-hand mark, but ultimately I think they want to go the opposite mark to what Oracle do here.
Okay, and looking at the top of the screen, there are the stats coming off of each boat.
As you can see, very similar boat speeds, 38, 39 knots there, and Oracle again sailing slightly deeper, although I think they're doing a great job of just matching, and their VMGs are almost identical.
Go through a little one on here. A little bit lighter here, Jimmy. Might have to sail a bit quick higher.
We got 50 this way, 40 the other, thinking one in the left.
Okay, Kyle, let's get at least 36 here, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to come up for you.
This way, 40 the other.
What are you thinking, JK?
That's east.
I think I'm one of them left.
Little trim on.
Like the map.
You are hearing the conversation between Jimmy Spithill and John Kostecki aboard the lead boat, Oracle Team USA. New Zealand jibes, Oracle responds.
Nice one.
Nice jibes from both teams there. Really good communication. I like how Oracle's sailing today. They've got the lead, they're having a good chat, they have a really good plan for the race.
And then about 30 seconds in attack.
Oh, yeah.
This is the type of performance we expected to see this morning from Jimmy Spithill and crew.
Look at the leg. 20. Stand by, guys. 20.
You know, they really need this win to get it back into this America's Cup match. And before the show, Nathan, you told me you thought it was going to be one each with the early victory to Oracle Team USA, and you were spot on so far.
Shaping up the way, isn't it? Wouldn't it be great for the event to have these guys win this race? I know it's a long way from being over, but they really need this. They had 2 close races yesterday, and I always thought whoever leads around Mark 1 has a massive advantage, and look at that, already making gains down this first run.
So it's Oracle Team USA out in the lead and in control of the race as they whip around the leeward gate left side. The delta increasing for the Kiwis. The Kiwis choose the opposite gate, so we have a split as both teams head back upwind. There's the scene in San Francisco Bay, and sailing fans are getting the game they had hoped to see. Lead changes yesterday. New Zealand went into today in the lead, but in this race, Nathan Outteridge, it's America in command.
It is, yeah, a really good start there by Jimmy and set the pace, and they did one less jibe on that run. They've now had to do one extra tack, but to me it looks like they've stayed out of the current, which is in the middle of the course. They're coming up behind Alcatraz here, up the cone. But to me, they're looking slower in a straight line. So 22 knots on average there versus 24. So let's see if New Zealand can get back into the race here.
Let me know if you want to go faster, Jacob. Negative. Go.
You just heard the guys on board Oracle Team USA say they're switching right.
Yep, so that means they want to cross here. They don't want to tack on Team New Zealand. They're going to switch to the right-hand side. They're going to get the current relief behind Alcatraz, and they're going to take the starboard tack advantage here. So good comms there, and I'm really happy with where they're going here.
180. Got 130. Stand by, guys.
That is a much calmer looking Jimmy Spithill compared to yesterday's race.
3, 2,
and here comes the tack as they check in with Emirates Team New Zealand.
Yeah. Nice. Good tack, Tommy.
You heard them in the Dockout show earlier this morning saying we watched the footage, we reviewed everything, all the data, and they learn a lot. And I heard them say, yeah, nice tack there. I observed them start, you know, in their racing yesterday, they were losing a lot in the tacks. So now they've got to settle it down and just keep in control here. So to me, that looks like a really good tack before. And that one seems pretty nice as well. So they're coming along here and really tight defense here on Emirates right now.
So the Americans have tacked right on top of the Kiwis, and the Kiwis will go right back. We have a classic tacking duel going on here in these AC-72 catamarans. The next move will be Oracle Team USA's.
2, 1, here we go.
Pushing it tight on that boundary there. You can see just ahead of that, those waves in the water from that helicopter shot. That's where they're now going to start to come out into the flood. So where they are at the moment is better current relief than where Emirates Team New Zealand is. But as they travel across here on starboard tack, they're going to go all the way to the left-hand side to the shore to get out of the current. So they've switched from the right-hand side at the bottom now to the left-hand side at the top, and it's a drag race to the shore from here.
So we're done with maneuvers for the time being. Now it's time to see who's got better legs as we sprint to the left side of the course. The view from on board Emirates Team New Zealand's director, Grant Dalton.
Looking to go a little fast out of it. Maybe shooting through to leeward, okay, with a good tag. Boundary tag.
Nathan, you told me earlier that you thought Emirates Team New Zealand might have an edge upwind. Are they clawing back on the U.S. boat?
Well, it looks like here they're just about to take over the lead. So I think they've been gaining slowly up this whole beat, and they're going to get into the better current sooner. So it's tough decisions to make down at the bottom of that race course. But I think their main gains have been coming in the tacks again. And it'll be just time will tell as we go up this speed as to if they're fast enough to make a pass.
He'll have to take to leeward of us, Dean. He'll take to leeward of us.
Boundary tag.
Boundary protection, possibly.
Yep.
You're listening to Ray Davies talking to helmsman Dean Barker that they will tack to leeward of us in this next maneuver. Nathan, talk us through it.
Well, what happens here is, Oracle Team USA is on starboard, New Zealand's on port, but they have protection from the boundary. So when you're inside 5 legs to the boundaries, the port tack boat has right of way. And there you go, tacking directly into leeward, exactly what Emirates Team New Zealand thought they were going to do.
Bow down, the Kiwis trying to increase speed, and the game is getting closer.
Inches here, this is just great racing, and look how close they are here. Dean had no choice there but to go lower. He couldn't sail high and slow. The only way to get into this race was to try and get through to leeward. And either he's going to tack from here, or they're both going to try and start foiling upwind.
Look at the speed from Emirates Team New Zealand. They reeled the Americans back in after a tack right in front of them. That is a big slap in the face for the American team, isn't it?
I think that's a huge mistake by Oracle tacking there. I don't understand why they're doing the short tack back into the shore, because what you see here now is you see Emirates now tacking on the starboard tack. They've taken the right-hand side. They have the advantage. And the only way Oracle are going to survive this next maneuver is to be inside the boundary and have the right-of-way on port coming out.
I think we can see the momentum shifting, the control in this race, loosening from Oracle Team USA and possibly settling into the hands of Emirates Team New Zealand with those last 2 transactions.
Well, they made this mistake yesterday as well. They gave away starboard tack advantage. In match racing, starboard tack advantage is so important. And let's just see what happens here coming out of the boundary.
Yeah, this next cross should be huge. And it is Emirates Team New Zealand out in front of Oracle Team USA with that tack.
Let's see what happens here.
But it's not over yet,
they're going
is
to leeward. Get ready for the hook. They're going to get the hook and they're going to luff and they're going to force Dean straight into another tack here. Amazing race. This is exactly like what we've seen in the past, and now it's happening in 72-foot foiling caps. This is unreal to watch, and we knew it was going to be big, but today's way bigger than we were expecting.
It is spectacular. We've got a proper catfight on here in San Francisco Bay.
Big gains there, boys.
So now the big question is Oracle's tack back. They've taken this starboard tack advantage again. I'm hearing and listening from Emirates Team New Zealand. They've made a gain. So let's just see what happens when they exit the boundary again.
10 seconds. One slow out of us. Standing by.
Go wing. Go wing. Go tram. Come on wing.
Here comes the next tack. Now New Zealand has to tack because of the boundary, and they're on port. They have to give way.
Can't see him.
Can't see him. You can hear Jimmy Spithill. Can't see him. Just getting close. We could see a potential collision here.
What you see is the green lights are flashing on the Emirates Team New Zealand back there. So they were in the boundary. The port tack boat has right of way, and that's a telling moment in the race.
Look at him go. The view from Dean Barker looking down at Oracle Team USA as they pass over the top of him. The Kiwis are now in control of the match.
From here, the Kiwis should be able to maintain control. Once you get the other boat on the same tack as you, you can see they just got wind forward here on Oracle, but Kiwis just have to follow them here. So let's go on board and listen to what their plan is.
There's the wing wash coming off of the top of Emirates Team New Zealand. That dirty air, that turbulent wind is definitely hurting the Americans, isn't it?
It is, they're losing a bit here now for sure.
Happy for him to get forward on us. Gains at height. Keep taking it at height. Nice, boys. Happy for him to go forward on us. Yeah, copy. Lower change speed.
Okay, no faster than this then. 24, let's get the hull out.
Well, I'll just say we're permanently grinding and the hull's always in.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Nathan? We're permanently grinding, but the hull is always in.
Seems like they're just struggling to get the boat balanced properly. Tom's talking about we're grinding on the wing sheet, but the hull's always in the water, so they need to change the wing shape somehow with their hydraulic system to get a little bit more power out of it, or Jimmy's just got to try and point a little bit lower just to fly the hull. very even on the boat speed across there, heading into the fog. And I think New Zealand are just doing a great job here now. They've got control of the race, and they're just waiting to react to what Jimmy's going to do.
Keep it close. Come on, guys. Let's keep sailing on the boat, guys. Don't go any higher. Slow it, Steve. Leave the sheet. Yeah. What are you thinking, JK?
Come on, amigos.
Going in right. We're just going to have to keep going our pace. We're just going to have to pick our time.
Right.
Looks like some good riding up here with pressure.
You can hear the intensity on board Oracle Team USA. They looked much calmer when they were in the lead. And it's one thing to start in the lead, but it is demoralizing to have the team that you're defending from come from behind and pass you. Now the Kiwis are looking strong.
A little longer. 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
It's definitely a very intense moment down there, the whole way around the bottom of that course. And as you see here, Emirates Team New Zealand also attacking the match here. So they're doing a great job now of just defending their lead, but seriously intense racing there. And you can hear the disappointment on Oracle. They almost thought they had that one in the bag and just let Emirates Team New Zealand get into them at the bottom of the course.
Go, wait.
Really taxi on the right. Make it one and in right.
45s are good.
You can hear JK saying, I think we've got to go one in right. And I heard Tom Slingsby saying just a little bit earlier that I think we just got to keep it close. I think yesterday they went a little bit too aggressive when they were behind and got further behind, and they want to keep it close and have a real good race on the downwind.
That intense look is back on Jimmy Spithill's face. That's what it looked like all day yesterday. He can't be happy with this view.
It's very frustrating. I bet you they're starting to get sick of that red wing sitting up there in front of them, and you know, they just got to keep working on keeping it close. And who knows? There's still a long way to go in this race.
I think they're pretty close there.
You're just doing it. Squadron.
I think we're pretty close. We're ready.
So both boats
87,
close to the left-hand boundary on this
97.
upwind leg. The Kiwis reach it first and tack. And the next move will be Oracle Team USA following suit.
You'd have to think Emirates are a faster boat upwind to be 20 seconds behind at the bottom mark, to then get in attacking duel and then to go past and sail away. Oracle have really got a big job ahead of them to get their boat going quicker upwind.
How far is it to boundary?
I think that's a pretty strong statement, Nathan, and one that the Kiwis are proving right in front of our eyes. So both boats approach the top mark. It'll be a right-hand turn around the right-hand gate. As they rip up onto the foils, no question who is out in front. Emirates Team New Zealand. The clock ticking above 20 seconds and counting for the American team. Oracle Team USA will follow Emirates Team New Zealand around the windward gates, 29 seconds behind.
40 seconds. 35. We can stretch it out a bit.
Got a bit of time.
On board with Oracle Team USA as they trail Emirates Team New Zealand. Nathan Outeridge, what are their options? What's going through your head if you're one of these guys?
Right now, their only option is to keep going out to the boundary and jibe what they can. There's best current out there, and they're in a position where they just have to follow Team New Zealand now. We'll see them jibe here before this blue mark. And around they go. Really nice jibe. So these guys are still sailing brilliantly, but it's just those key moments earlier on in that beat where it cost them dearly.
Well, we know Oracle Team USA is fast when they're flying downwind, but will it be enough with a delta like that to catch the Kiwis?
Well, as we saw yesterday, it's pretty tough. They chose the same top mark. It's pretty hard to make a passing maneuver when you're just following unless you're seriously faster. And they're only about a knot or so quicker at best downwind. So I think you know, their best bet there was to probably split and have a chance at making a gain, but they probably know deep down that going left mark at the top was going to be a bigger loss than following.
About 7 lengths off it. 180. You have to start with a bit of pressure. Yeah. Should go right from here though, eh? Yeah, once we get out of the fog. Yep, really happy now we're in the breeze too. Paralleling at the moment, 7 lengths off.
Ray Davies just checking his onboard computer strapped to his waist so he can carry it with him both sides of the boat. He's looking at the boundaries and also the ley lines into the next mark and when the team will jibe, right?
Exactly. He was just referring to which boundary they were closest to. He said we're paralleling the boundary. So the wind's probably a little bit further left than what we've seen the last few days, which means this starboard jibe on the downwind is the longest one. And that's great for Team New Zealand because Jimmy just has to follow him. He can't jibe, he can't go further offshore. And looks like Jimmy's catching him slightly here, but they've still got a good 20 seconds to catch up.
Well, the delta was 17 seconds at the bottom mark the first time, about 29 seconds at the top mark. And now, will the American speed be enough to catch these guys? The Kiwis, Emirates Team New Zealand, dominant so far.
About 50 seconds the other way.
15 this way, 15 the other.
You can always hear them talking about the time, can't you? It's so hard to judge distance, but time is very obvious to the crew. We've got 2 minutes this direction, 50 seconds the other way, and then you're at the bottom mark. And that's good cues for the crew on board to know exactly what's coming next.
About 20 seconds to a drive. 20.
You heard Ray Davies call 20 seconds to a jibe, 10 now. Emirates Team New Zealand will make the next move. It'll be a jibe onto port as they head towards the leeward gate.
Yeah, another great jibe. They're really good on the board management, these guys. We've seen it for the last couple of months. And see how at the end of that jibe, they still have a little bit of that windward board to lift up. They're letting the windward hull sit on that, about a metre of board down, and that's what gives them the nice balance and stability through the jibe.
40 the other way.
Oracle following suit. And again, exactly the same principles there. Still having to wind up the last part of their board. And these guys are sailing these boats almost identically. And the biggest difference to me I can see at the moment is the upwinds, and downwind there's nothing in it.
45 this way.
You can see that orange line on the screen there, that's the ley line, so expect a jibe coming here very soon.
3, 2, 1, jibing.
I'm impressed at how calm these guys seem, considering how hard and how physical it is on board these boats. They make it look easy. That's mark number 4 on the left-hand side, the final turning mark of this race before we head to the finish. And time is definitely running out for Oracle Team USA. The writing, it would appear, is already on the wall.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any passing maneuvers from here. Oracle too far behind, and Emirates Team New Zealand have just got to round the mark as they go here, and then it's a 40-knot blasting reach to the finish from here.
The view from onboard Emirates Team New Zealand in front of Dean Barker's sunglasses is the finish line. Behind his helmet is Oracle Team USA. And that is a picture the Kiwis like to see on San Francisco Bay as race number 3 heads for home.
You see Dean there have a little spin of their head, have a look back of where Oracle is, and it's not often you get a chance to turn around and look back, but he's obviously feeling very happy with this race, and they're cruising along quite nicely to the finish here.
You can already hear the crowd starting to cheer on board as Emirates Team New Zealand heads for the finish line off of America's Cup Park.
It's
From down to dominant, Emirates Team New Zealand came from behind to take race number 3 of the America's Cup in impressive fashion. I mean, Nathan, that says it all for the fans who have come all the way up here from New Zealand. They're getting the show that they had hoped for.
Yeah, exactly. A great show put on today, and if you're a Kiwi supporter, man, you've got to be happy with a race like that.
And you've got to be extremely frustrated to have dominated the start, given them a penalty. Oracle Team USA finishes now 28 seconds behind.
Spin up, boys. Bad luck.
You know, bad luck is a phrase I've heard Jimmy Spithill say more than once in these races at the finish.
Yeah, I bet he's hoping he doesn't have to say that after this next race. And I think it all came back to that bottom of that first beat, and it's just so impressive how well Team New Zealand were able to do from being behind at the bottom mark. They did a great job splitting gates and getting back into that race. And you know, Jimmy and the boys must be thinking, we got a penalty, we won the start. What more do we have to do?
Right. What more can they do?
It's a great question, and hopefully they can work it out. But I think, to me, it looks like they just need to relax a little bit more around the bottom mark, not engage with these boys too much upwind. They're losing too much in the tacks, and they've just got to be confident in their boat speed and let the race take care of itself.
Look at the smiles aboard the crew of Emirates Team New Zealand. Quite happy, and they should be. They are now 3-0 up over the defenders of the America's Cup, Oracle Team USA, here in San Francisco. What a show it has been so far for this third race in the America's Cup. It goes to Team New Zealand 3-0 over Oracle Team USA. One more race scheduled today, and Nathan Outteridge, you thought it was going to be one each. Do you think the next race will go to these guys, the Kiwis, or can Oracle turn it around?
Still wouldn't be surprised if we get a 1-all score. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? But they've been doing a good job, and we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm still confident they'll win a race.
It's impressive. There are the boys on board Emirates Team New Zealand. We're going to go down to hear from that race with Dean Barker.
We go on board now with Emirates Team New Zealand, their skipper and helmsman, Dean Barker. Dean, congratulations on a tremendous performance. You didn't get the start. Oracle Team USA got it, but where did it all go right for you guys in this race?
Well, yeah, it was a matter of meters, really, at that Mark 1. Like we just needed one more meter just to get around their bow, and would have been a completely different look. But, you know, it's just the way it is. Those guys, you know, they came out firing. They did a nice job with their acceleration off the line and just held that inside overlap. And, yeah, we didn't sail our best run down there. Gave away a few lengths that we probably shouldn't have. But, you know, and the upwind, the boat was really going quite well. The guys were doing a great job. And, yeah, we sort of managed to close right in, which was nice.
Hey, Dean, let's go to that beat for a second. Halfway up the beat, you guys kind of use the boundary to your advantage. Can you just tell us how that all works?
Well, it's a real game of cat and mice up there, because you're trying to use the boundary to your advantage. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and with everything going on and trying to make sure you stay inside the zone and everything else, it's pretty full on. And I think you're going to get some right, some wrong, and you know, I think we sort of managed it pretty well today.
Dean, do you get a little conservative now, or do you keep the hammer down and keep pushing hard?
Mate, we're only 3 races into it. You know, we've got to keep pushing hard. These boats, there's no point being conservative. You've got to push hard all the way. So we'll just keep fighting for every point. You know, we go out again now with a clean slate and try and win the next race this afternoon.
Dean, we thank you for your time. We'll see you for race number 2.
Yeah, will do. See ya, thanks.
So there we heard it from Dean Barker aboard Emirates Team New Zealand, a very confident Kiwi crew. And he's got a reason to be happy now. 3 up over that boat in the distance to the left, Oracle Team USA.
Yeah, definitely got to be a happy team there. As you heard him say, it was another tight, close race, and they just seem to have that advantage upwind. I think, you know, thinking about the racing and what was going to happen, everyone thought Oracle were going to be a fast boat upwind, and I heard it a lot from the boys from New Zealand, knowing that we were going to, you know, have to improve our speed upwind, and they've certainly done that.
We're on board here with Oracle Team USA as they change headsels, and while they do, we're going to hear from how that race went from Jimmy Spithill.
We go on board now with James Spithill, the skipper and helmsman for Oracle Team USA. And Jimmy, you had a great start. First, second leg looked fantastic. What was the difference in the race, and where did it get away from you?
Yeah, we got off the line well, and I actually thought they fouled us at the reach mark, so it'd be interesting to see that on TV. But yeah, we had a good run, and they just slowly got into us in a couple of tacks around, working up to Alcatraz there, and unfortunately were able to get around us.
So, Jimmy, last night the word on the street was that you guys kind of went through possible ways to tack the boat a little bit better. Clearly that was an issue yesterday. Have you seen a difference? Does the boat feel any different? Are you doing anything different during these tacks to try to close gauge?
We made a couple of changes. I think we were, you know, a little better. You know, obviously off that race, they're still making pretty good gains in the tack, so we're going to have to work a little bit harder and see if we can up our performance there.
Jim, is there anything speed-wise you could do in between races to try and improve going upwind?
Oh, very little, to be honest. I mean, the configuration is what it is right now, and you know, I don't think our speed was necessarily that bad upwind. You know, I think we just got a little out of sorts at the bottom there, and you know, I think we've still got a shot at winning. So we're going to come out, you know, swinging in this race. We really want to take this one.
Jimmy, thanks for your time. Wish you best of luck in race number 2.
Dean Barker to the left. You can't see him in that fog, but he's there. Jimmy Spithill to the right, and that's how the entry will go for the start of this second race of the day, the 4th race in the America's Cup Series. 3 minutes till the start.
With that fog, it's going to be tough for these boys to see the breeze as well as they have been able to do. Yesterday it was a little bit clearer, and today they've got the fog, and you can see Dean Barker. He's really just trying to get in position for this pre-start.
In the pre-start, we know Emirates Team New Zealand will be on port, and Nathan, you've been telling us that is new for match racing. The port boat is strong in the pre-start.
They are strong. They get to enter 10 seconds earlier than the starboard tack boat, which is allowing them to get that first cross in. And from there, they just have to make the one manoeuvre. And, you know, if you only have to make one manoeuvre, it's one decision, and it's so much easier than having to react to another boat.
So the advantage early on in the pre-start will go to these guys, the Kiwis, who have been dominant so far. 5 seconds till they enter the start, ahead of Oracle Team USA. Here we go, 2:10, a little bit behind is Dean Barker.
Only a little bit behind, about 5 seconds behind. You prefer to be 5 seconds late on the entry than being early and getting a penalty. So, you know, quite happy to be anywhere within that 5 to 10 seconds. And you can see Jimmy here a little bit late again as well, but it's exactly what they need to do in these pre-starts.
Big turn down for Oracle Team USA, minute 50 to go. Their eyes set on the Kiwis, who are leading to the right-hand side of the pre-start box.
And I think with the flood dying, it now gives them the option to tack or jibe here. Oracle are going to jibe and start to chase them out there. And then they're going to have to make a split-second decision as soon as Emirates decide which way they're going to go here.
That helicopter shot gives you a great idea of the speed. Even an aircraft has trouble keeping up with these boats. On board, Dean Barker, he'll tack. And now the next move belongs to Oracle Team USA.
And Dean tacked pretty late there. He tacked at 1:15, which gives Jimmy the opportunity to do a tack into leeward here. If he goes past, it's going to make his life tricky. Looking like he's gone straight past there. And now it's a case of Jimmy's got to get onto starboard tack here and really push the race back to the start line. Every second that's ticking by here is good for Emirates Team New Zealand.
So Spithill sets up behind Barker. What are his options?
Spitthill's got to try and either get to leeward and get a hook on him, or he's going to try and sail to windward and roll him at the start. I'm looking at this live line picture. It looks like they're on the windward end on the ley line, so Jimmy's going to want to go to leeward from this position. But I think they're late for the start. They went a long way away, and I think they're going to be late.
They did look late in that graphic. Now we're less than 30 seconds away from the start. Spithill puts the bow down to try and increase speed. It's Emirates Team New Zealand giving them wing wash and slowing them down. Both boats pushing as hard as they can towards the line. Nathan, as you mentioned, they might be late. Oracle Team USA pulling forward a little bit. They know they want to win this race. Both bows going down and the hulls going up onto the foils as we start race number 4 here in the America's Cup.
All clear, all clear.
Oracle Team USA first up on the foils and pulling forward just a little bit. Nothing in this race so far.
Nothing in it all. Again, both teams were slightly late, but they hit the line at speed. And again, I think Jimmy's done a great job of being the inside boat. Dean keeps fighting for the windward end. And Jimmy, look at him, he's sailing him here away from the mark. He's just trying to sail it off the course here.
Well, this is new. This is something we've never seen. They're not going to mark number 1. They're on their way to Crissy Field as Jimmy Spithill luffs Dean Barker and takes an early lead into the rounding.
Nice there. You know, he did a great job. It was touch and go. All that Dean has to do is get his bow around there, and off he goes. And Jimmy, being the leeward boat, chooses when he gets to bear away, and that's where he gets the gains.
That's exactly what Jimmy Spithill needed to do. He's in control. Now he's got to keep it.
Nothing in the speed of these two boats. Very similar boats, but you can see how puffy it is there on the water. There's dark patches everywhere, and you hear him talking about we're in good pressure. When you're in good pressure, there's no need to rush the jibe.
Boundary just off to the right near the yacht clubs as they reach downwind. The next move will be a jibe, and who will go first? Crew moving to leeward on Emirates Team New Zealand, just off of Marina Green in America's Cup Village. The fans getting treated to quite a show. The Kiwis will jibe first.
Yeah, and that wasn't their best jibe. Their hull touched down in the water. You heard them talking into it. They sounded calm. But I think Oracle's going to make a nice little gain here because I didn't see a full foiling jibe, and that's probably the first time we haven't seen that one from Emirates.
So the first time we see small errors from the Kiwi crew, and the biggest lead we've seen so far for Oracle Team USA as we're halfway down the first run. The Americans in the lead.
Looks like we should step down, Dino. There has been a breeze. Quite nice gains. First good one on our bow.
Ray Davies on board talking to Dean Barker
No,
about their
pressure
options.
for us. Same now, yeah.
Same, Nathan, what does that mean?
They're just referring to their speed and their angle. Same. So with the same speed, same angle, often they'll refer to same faster or same higher, and that's what they're talking about when you hear those comms on board.
Same speed, same angle, but 130-meter difference between the teams. Emirates Team New Zealand preps for a jibe.
Nice try.
You heard Ray say gains back here, boys. You think he's right?
I think so. It looked like they were out to like 150, 160. They got up to 130 there for a while, and look at them there doing 42 knots of boat speed, so really smoking along fast there.
Here's a look at the stats coming off of each boat's live.
Yeah, you can see there, obviously Oracle just exited a jibe and they're quite a lot slower, and it takes a long time for that speed to build up. The VMGs are definitely there to Emirates Team New Zealand, but they keep changing. You can see how often those numbers are spinning up and down, and that means it's puffy on the race course, and these boats are difficult to sail.
The breeze does look like it's building out there, out on the water. Early tack, Kostecki talking to Jimmy Spithill. They're already referring to the next leg.
Not an early tack, but like settle and go. Thinking like, 20 to 30 after the mark. Hey, John, looking to go 2 right. Happy to follow. Happy to follow.
Happy to follow John Kostecki. So he wants to jibe with him?
Yeah, I think they're just talking about their plan for the bottom mark. Looks like Emirates is setting up for 2 jibes from there. So they've done 1. They're going to go right-hand mark. And it may be, there you go, you see Oracle jibing as well. So they're happy to follow. They just know they've got to stay between them and the bottom mark, and they're saying 1 in right. So both boats shaping up for a right-hand mark at the bottom here.
15.
Go bottom, Tommy.
You can barely see the boats through the fog. Oh, bows down for Oracle Team USA. A big mistake.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a good jibe there. It looked like just some issue with the daggerboard control system, and just watch Team New Zealand come ripping in. You can't make mistakes like that, but they're still going to lead. They're both going to go around the same mark, and it's just a lesser lead.
The speed dropping dramatically for Oracle Team USA, but they are still in the lead as Emirates Team New Zealand follows them around the leeward marks. But look, the game is getting much closer.
You can see one little mistake makes a huge difference on the race course. They would have normally been doing 30 on the exit of the jibe, and they're doing 18 that time.
So Oracle Team USA leading back upwind, but only just.
Need to go higher. Aggressively high.
You can see Emirates did a great job around the bottom mark there of sailing high around the exit of the mark, and we're hearing them saying we have to sail high mode. Now, Oracle need to start sailing higher to squeeze them off here, and this is where you'll be able to tell if there's a good speed difference or not.
Now, what are Oracle Team USA's options? Boundary approaching, both boats heading to the left side.
Well, they just want to keep sailing towards them here. You can see they're slowly sailing higher. They need to get to the left-hand boundary. And once the green light starts flashing in the boundary, they can tack when they want.
Just look at how close these boats are. Imagine the view if you're an Oracle Team USA sailor. That one grinder just doesn't even want to look over his head. Just a few feet behind him is Emirates Team New Zealand. This game is incredibly close. The Kiwis will tack away first.
And there you go. They have to roll into attack. If they stay there any longer, then they're going to start to lose distance from the wing wash that we keep seeing from the overhead shots. Emirates were hiding there the whole time, but really good job there by Jimmy to get back into control in that race.
Let's go back to that issue at the bottom mark. Oracle Team USA comes off the foils and slams into the water. Right here.
And all that happens there is there's just an issue with the daggerboard control system on the leeward side. Jimmy might have pushed the wrong button. We'll watch on board, see if there's any movement on the daggerboard here. Ah, there you go. Someone's just tapped a button there, and you saw the leeward board on the far side shoot up in the air. So it wasn't a rate controlled adjustment. We're more worried about the board on the other side here. But what happens is as the boat goes in, down it goes. And it looked like just the board shot up in the air, and that messes up your jibe. But they're the little errors that really cost you in the race course.
Back out on the upwind leg. Emirates Team New Zealand in the middle of the track to the right of Oracle Team USA. They had to tack away the last time we saw the two teams. And the game is almost dead even again. On board with Dean Barker and crew.
Can you hit me now?
Very few mistakes we have seen the Kiwis make, but every time the U.S. team does, those guys are right there ready to pounce. Now, this next tack, Nathan, is going to be huge.
It is, you know, they're pushed out to the right-hand side of the course here, so maybe not best for current, but they're going to have the starboard tack advantage. To me, it looks like, you know, that graphic says 14 metres, and 14 metres is less than the length of the boat, so they might have a piece of each other here, so big cross coming here in this race.
So will it be Emirates Team New Zealand taking a bite out of Oracle Team USA, or will the Americans cross? Big speed gain there for Emirates Team New Zealand. Potentially collision course.
Happy to go.
There's the difference. There's the gain. There's the dominance return for Oracle Team USA. They will cross and tack ahead of Emirates Team New Zealand.
Yeah, big call there. I think that's a really good move. They're far enough ahead. That was a nice tack. They're now putting disturbed there on Emirates Team New Zealand, and they're going to force Emirates back out onto the right-hand side, which isn't the favoured side of the course. So every time they do this, it is a risk, though, because they're giving away the starboard tack advantage, which is so important in match racing. But I think Jimmy and John Kostecki believe the left is the way to go. Let's get out of the current. Let's look for a left-hand shift, and let's just keep extending on this lead that they have.
Happy to sit up.
So the Americans back in control of this race, but only just. Can they stay ahead of the Kiwis?
Stand by.
Setting up for attack on board with Oracle Team USA.
Check out how quickly going. 27 knots upwind. I know the breeze has increased a bit, but they must have been trying a falling mode or a low mode at some point there. So look to see them still crossing ahead here on port. I think they made some good gains in that part of the beat. You can see here, Emirates Team New Zealand starboard tack pushing the foiling upwind, and it's risky when you foil upwind because you, as you saw, the bow leapt out of the air, and they just want to have a good consistent speed. But man, 27 knots from both boats upwind. They're really flying upwind now.
So Oracle Team USA has regained what they lost. Now they're 130 meters plus in the lead, the advantage to the Americans. And now, for the first time in this regatta, it's the Kiwis on the offensive.
I really like what happened there. Oracle decided they're not going to attack on their face. They're just going to keep coming up to the center. They're sailing the boat fast. They've engaged once. They pushed them the wrong way once. And now you'll see them set up for attack here and get back into the favored side of the course.
3, 2, 1, here we go.
Favored side, the left side because of the current, and that's where both teams are heading now. As Oracle Team USA fights to maintain control of the Kiwis. Boundary reached for the Kiwis.
Yep, Kiwis have to tack there, and again, a nice tack on the left-hand side of our screen. And I think that it's a really fascinating race, this one. Jimmy's and JK are doing a much better job of just keeping the boat going fast and not really engaging in the other boat too much.
There is the next cross. Oracle Team USA comfortable now. They seem to have found their stride in this fourth race of the America's Cup as they shift to the left of Emirates Team New Zealand to stay in front.
It looks like the wind speed's picked up a bit. I'm seeing 22 knots gusting 24, so it's getting windy out there, and I think maybe Oracle is a faster boat when it's windy.
Hear how hard the guys are working on board. Remember, they made a grinder change on Emirates Team New Zealand. Winston McFarlane is now in for Grant Dalton, but it hasn't made the difference yet. Oracle crossing ahead again.
Just sneaking across there. It's really getting close, and I still like the look of Emirates Team New Zealand upwind, but I think Jimmy and the boys are doing a great job of just keeping in the lead. They're pushing out to the right-hand side. They're going to have starboard attack advantage on the next one. And it's going to be tight at the top. There's no doubt about it that Emirates are coming into them here slowly.
Hold on.
So New Zealand will tack on their hip. Both boats on port, heading out towards the middle of the race course. The next move will go to Oracle Team USA, halfway up the beat.
Higher in general. Hard to tell speed. They're about 5 lengths on our hip. Definitely nice lower here, Jimmy. Pretty good. Nice boat here.
So that was Tom Slingsby there speaking. He's the guy sitting behind Jimmy facing backwards. And he's on a strategy roll. So he's just telling Jimmy relatives. How are we going relative to the other boat? Helmet number 10's Tom Slingsby, and he always sits behind Jimmy. He's just an information feeder. He doesn't make decisions on the boat, but he feeds really good quality information for JK and Jimmy to make decisions.
Look at the crew all hunkered down on the Kiwi boat for windage as it increases on them. Every bit that they can reduce the windage increases the speed in these new boats. They're doing 20 knots upwind, over 20 knots of breeze, 50 miles of wind on their face.
So, Dean, if he goes left gate lay, we either follow him or take it away.
Yeah, good move. Pretty good move here.
There's there's the view from Oracle Team USA. The Kiwis just on their hip behind. But it's definitely not over yet, is it?
It's a tight race. I'm sitting on the edge of my chair watching this because this is the longest they've been able to hold on to it, and it's just amazing being able to listen to what they're talking about. JK's talking about a really good mode here. You know, I think they're going to keep going offshore and they're going to try and go left mark at the top, which is the first time we've seen in this racing. Heard the Kiwis on board talking about wanting to go right gate, so they're going to try and get a split. See them both tacking here. Oracle are going to tack on this line that you saw on our live line screen, the virtual eye, and they're going to try and make it with one more tack to go, whereas Kiwis are looking for a split at the top mark here.
So if what you're saying happens, if it plays out that Oracle goes to the left, Emirates Team New Zealand goes to the right, then New Zealand will have to do one more tack than the Americans, right?
They'll have to do one more tack upwind, and wow, look in the background here, foiling upwind, really unstable, and you know, it's hard to know when you want to push that, but it looked like they lost from trying to do that. But yeah, you're exactly right. One extra tack to Team New Zealand on the upwind, possibly one extra jibe to Oracle downwind, but if they can nail their jibes, you don't lose anything.
3, 2, 1.
Here comes that tack from Emirates Team New Zealand. On lay line for the right-hand gate, the top of the course, lays waiting. Oracle Team USA will reach it first. Nathan Outteridge, you told us they're going to go left gate and head inshore, and that's exactly what they do out in front, still in charge of this race number 4.
And look for them to do an early jibe after going around the first mark here to try and stay between Team New Zealand and the bottom mark.
Now it's New Zealand's turn, right-hand gate, right-hand turn. The delta, 16 seconds to Oracle Team USA. So Emirates Team New Zealand trailing Oracle Team USA. Nathan, I don't know anything about how to drive a foiling catamaran, but it seems to me that the Kiwis are a bit more unstable in this race than we've seen before.
Yeah, they were very jumpy in that race, and as the wind gets up, the boats go quicker and it becomes harder to sail. And the rudder elements that you can't adjust, those angles, are really, really changing how the boat performs. The faster you go, the more lift you get from your rudders, and that's why it looked a little bit unstable in the pictures we just saw there.
Dean Barker trying to tame a bucking Bronco and keep it flying forward to catch the boat to the left. Oracle Team USA, 40+ knots of boat speed, flying downwind in the lead.
Max trim here, Jimmy. Nice lower. Yeah, hold that up. Happy to go here anytime.
Think of what this does for the psychology of Oracle Team USA's crew if they can pull this off and win this race.
Oh, it's amazing. It's been such an amazing race to watch so far, and these guys need this race. They need to get back in the hunt. They're 3-0 down at the moment, and they need to do everything they can to keep that boat in your picture there, right there, behind.
But hang on, look at the Kiwis. Look at the speed. Look at them reeling him in from behind. They've taken 30 meters out of the American boat.
And you think 100 meters is a long distance, I can assure you it's about 2.5 seconds on these boats. So that's not a big lead by any stretch of the imagination.
And Jimmy Spithill knows it. He is just willing this boat forward, keeping it bow ahead of Emirates Team New Zealand.
Pressure here.
It's definitely getting closer.
It is. You can see the speeds that we keep getting to look at here. Very, very similar. Every now and then, Emirates Team is making a small gate, and they have 2 more maneuvers to go here. They've got 2 more jibes, and then it's a right-hand turn around the bottom mark. So really looking close. And look at that, consistent 100 to 115 meters in distance. So they're just going back and forward the whole time here.
Okay, go trim, little one. Go in. Yeah, hold. Max trim, go lower.
This is just awesome footage. Unprecedented. You can see every angle from this boat. To be fair, we can see a lot more than the sailors can.
I learned so much more about sailing these boats watching the racing of the Louis Vuitton series than actually sailing the boat myself. So you can see Emirates here starting to cross the boat. They've got 2 jibes to go. This is probably the most 2 important jibes of the whole race now.
So here it comes, the first jibe from Emirates Team New Zealand. Oracle Team USA continues. Now they'll jibe to stay with the Kiwis. Boat handling is intensely important at this point.
So imagine how much pressure's on these guys right now. They know they need this win. They know it's close, and they've got the pedigree right on their back. These guys are the #1 team, Emirates Team New Zealand so far. They haven't lost a race to anyone, and here they are breathing down your neck. You've got to think these guys are under some serious pressure in front.
Can they handle the pressure? Can they keep the Kiwis off their back, and can they notch up their first win in the America's Cup? It is all on Oracle Team USA.
Both teams split here. 3 people on the leeward side waiting for the jibe, waiting for the call.
300. Stand by. Go trim. Go forward to me.
So this last jibe has to be huge. No mistakes. They're heading for the final turn. Oracle Team USA, foil-to-foil jibe. Emirates Team New Zealand doing the same behind.
Nice, look at that. Both jibes, perfect jibes there again.
There's the view from on board Emirates Team New Zealand. The mark in the distance, the options running out for the Kiwis. It'll be a right-hand turn. That's the final turning mark of the race. The mood's got to be lifting for Oracle Team USA, but you wouldn't know it. The intensity, you can feel it.
It's still just as close as it was at the start, and that's exactly how it should be. They're going to do 1 right-hand turn here, and then we've got about 40 seconds after this race, doing 40 knots on the way to the finish.
Both boats flying out of the fog and heading towards the finish. There's the delta, 5 seconds. The Kiwis, a sharp return. They'll try and hook up to windward a little bit for clear air. It is a final sprint to the finish, and an intense fight for both teams as Oracle Team USA tries to hang on and keep the Kiwis at bay.
Look at the focus on their face. These guys know how important it is, and this is very rewarding for these boys right now. They're working so hard to finally get one up on them. They're starting a little bit of a higher angle here just to defend their position, and halfway across this reach, they're going to bear away and go a little quicker towards the finishing line.
So the pedal is down and the pressure is on. The Americans, Oracle Team USA, poised to take their first win, wheeling the boat towards the finish line ahead of the dominant Emirates Team New Zealand so far. You can hear the crowds on shore starting to cheer. They know they have done it. Race number 4 belongs to Oracle Team USA. What a relief. What a moment for the Americans. There's the difference. 8 seconds the Kiwis cross behind their first loss of the regatta.
And these guys are stoked up. They look at them high-fiving each other. They're having an awesome day. You know, Jimmy pats on the back for JK, and what do you know? We got a boat race.
We certainly do. So the Kiwi command has been cracked, and the winning streak has been broken by those flags, by the American team, by USA, by that man at the wheel. Jimmy Spithill has taken his first win in the regatta. How about that view? America's Cup Park. A lot of American fans happy right now. That's the hometown team. And Nathan, you were right. 1-all for both boats today.
What did I tell you? I had a good chat to Dean and Jimmy. I said, guys, come on, just give us one each. Give us something to talk about. And man, didn't they do that? They did an amazing job. Both teams. Was it 8 seconds in the end at the finish?
8 seconds.
Who said this America's Cup wasn't going to be close?
It is incredibly close. There's both flags, the Kiwis and the Americans. That was quite a match. They are just drinking it all in right now. They have earned their keep in this race. You think there's some happy fans representing the hometown?
Sounds like
here in San
I
Francisco?
can see you got a massive grin on your face. Good to see you cheering for the Americans in here. It's
well, I'm just lucky to have the right accent for this race. Wow. Well, that is a happy and a calm Jimmy Spithill. Relief across his face. There's a little smile just cracking there. They'll sprint away from America's Cup Park. Now it's the Kiwis' turn to do a flyby for their fans. Dean Barker still leading the regatta, to be fair, but probably not happy with that loss.
No, and it all came back to the start again, didn't it? You know, they got themselves at the windward end. They liked starting at the windward end, and that allowed Jimmy to take the inside rounding at Mark 1. And I thought they did a great job. They fought really hard to get back into the race. They put Oracle under all sorts of pressure, but you know, after leading 3 different times now, Oracle Team USA finally worked out how to stay ahead.
Tell you what, it was a nail-biter all the way around the track. I mean, every time this team has gotten in front of the Kiwis, they haven't been able to defend, keep them behind until this race, and it really came right down to the sprint to the finish.
It did. It came down. I was thinking down that last run, I'm like, I've sailed these boats myself. I know what it's like. I know how much pressure you're under every time you have to do a jibe. Once you're around the last mark in a straight line, it's relatively simple, but those last 2 jibes, there was so much pressure on both teams.
Definitely back and forth downwind with them, though. At times we gain, at times they gain.
You can hear John Kostecki talking to Jimmy Spithill about the race.
Yeah, they were just talking about how back and forth it was. One moment, you know, they'd make a small gain and gain 15 metres. The next moment, you know, Emirates Team New Zealand would make a small gain. And
Like we would have had a nice lead if we had a nice dive around the bottom there. I don't know what happened.
And that's the boys there talking about that jibe on the first run. They're like, they didn't know what happened. And, you know, from our footage, it looked like the leeward board popped up in the air just before the jibe. And the whole boat's flying on this board. And when it shoots up to the boat, the hull goes in. And that's a risky moment. The bow went down pretty hard. The boat stops, but they recovered nicely.
I heard Spithill say, must have pushed the button.
Yeah, well, you got these buttons on board to control the rake back and forward, and their boards go up and down with hydraulics. They're not on ropes and winches, so someone has to push a button to let the board up. And I heard Tom Slingsby say, just as you mentioned, I must have pushed the button at the wrong moment, or maybe I flicked the wrong switch, and these things happen all the time.
There's Emirates Team New Zealand. There's Dean Barker on the back of the boat. Let's hear his thoughts on the race.
As we go on board Emirates Team New Zealand. All right, Dean, you were successful in race number 1. What was the difference in race number 2, and what did they do, or was it a case of you guys not executing like you should have?
They started a really good race. You know, their time on distance at the start was pretty nice. You know, we thought they might have been a bit late when they tacked, but they managed just to get back to the start line right on time, so they had a little bit of momentum. Were strong at Mark 1, and then they just got a really nice bit of pressure out of the gate, which we didn't quite, out of the Mark 1, which we didn't quite get. So they opened up a pretty nice little lead, and yeah, again we battled back into it upwind. You know, boat's going well upwind, but unfortunately we just couldn't quite get enough to make it pass.
And the start is very key in this America's Cup format. The way we've learned, you get the start right, you're going to probably go on and get the victory. As Emirates Team New Zealand, as we go on board with them, we will bring you sights and sound throughout the racing. The man with the 14 on his helmet, that is the main man, Dean Barker, the skipper and helmsman, and the man on the 10 on his helmet on his left-hand side, that is Ray Davies, the man that calls the shots of telling him where to go. And across the way, their counterparts, Jimmy Spithill, the man with his hands on the wheel. Behind him is John Kostecki, who grew up in these waters, knows it better maybe than most anyone else racing today.
Here we go.
So the clock has begun. Under 3 minutes to go at 2:10. New Zealand will get port entry. They will be coming in on the left-hand side, and the Americans can come in 10 seconds later. They will get into the start box. Again, that 10 seconds advantage really isn't to give them an advantage. It's just more for a safety precaution.
Well, it was done for a safety precaution, but a lot of these teams think that it actually is an advantage, Todd, to get across and to be able to start to position yourself where you want to go. The boat coming in from the other side, or Oracle today, they have to kind of react to your position. So we think at 2:10, when these guys come zooming in, they're going to start thinking about where they want to set up, which end of the line they want to set up for.
Okay, it's an even line, sailing down sailing lane here.
And now the Americans are free to enter the start box. So the 2-minute clock is on. Now this is a position where 2 minutes of jockeying, Kenny, really takes place. You want to get your boat in the right position against your opponent and at the line when the clock hits 0.
One of these guys will become the pusher and the other will become the blocker. And we're going to see Team New Zealand likely roll into attack here shortly, and then it's reaction time. For the skippers, it's all about reaction for the next minute and 30 seconds.
90 seconds to go to the line as we check in on the water with Gary Jobson. Gary, whose position do you like the best?
Well, I like the American position right now. They're closer to the line, and they're going to be able to block the course of New Zealand. So New Zealand's got a little trouble right now.
Can't get to the boat. Full pace here. Getting it back up on the wind now. Back up on the wind now.
1 minute to the start.
And you hear Dean Barker really starting to talk about maneuvers right now. This is classic pusher and blocker. Team USA is trying to get New Zealand down below the ley line to the left side of the race course. New Zealand's trying to hook underneath, and they're coming from behind fast to try to get that hook. They got to be careful getting too low on this ley line, though.
On the wind. 2 above pin.
30 seconds to go.
Team New Zealand being patient. This is time and distance for Dean Barker right now. He'll end up going to the left-hand side or the bottom of our screen below Oracle. Who accelerates best?
And the final count is on. It's day 3 of the 34th America's Cup. Who's going to get it right? And New Zealand at the last moment, Kenny, made a great move as Dean Barker was able to get underneath Jimmy Spithill.
Crucial part of this race right now, boat speed contest. Who can reach fastest to this mark? Can Emirates Team New Zealand hold off the boat that has a slightly better angle to windward?
Those blue dots coming off the screen, that is disturbed or dirty air that the Americans are sending back to the Kiwis right now.
And Oracle will get over the top and give them disturbed air. Oracle will be ahead at Mark 1.
So at mark number 1, it's Oracle, Team USA, that picks up the whole shot over the Kiwis. And the race is now on. This is race number 5, day number 3, as we go down on the water, leg 2 of 5, and check in with Gary Jobson.
Very puffy wind conditions right along the shoreline where they're going down. Small jibs, you can see the forward sail, how small they are here. But New Zealand, even though they're 2 lengths behind, has plenty of opportunity to catch up when they make that all-important jibe.
Gary talking about the jibs, the sails at the front of the boat, Ken. If you wanted to get more speed, would it make more sense to put a bigger sail up front?
Well, it's all about being the amount of power that you need. These soft foils, and that's what they are. They're foils, they're made of carbon fiber as well, just like the rest of the boat. But the smaller the foil on a really windy day, the more efficient the whole sail plan is. Gary, you can really see this is kind of a what we call a left-hand racetrack, which means the breeze is blowing off the shore more than we've seen in the past, allowing these guys to really extend down the course on starboard tack here, almost aiming for the mark.
Yeah, the wind has gone out of the south here. That's why they're able to sail this course. It's bad news for New Zealand because there's no passing lane and there's no opportunity to jibe. So the New Zealanders are in a tough position right now.
And for the first time, Todd, on that reach, on that first reach, Oracle showed speed. That's the first time you can absolutely say Oracle was the faster boat on that first leg. Really well positioned, very well done.
Nice pressure we're sailing into now. Leaving the pressure back up the top.
Yeah, no, it's always better for him now. I'm keen to step down to
even that shift.
Hang it here for a little bit. Okay, copy.
Any lift you want to get out of here, right?
Yes, you don't go soft, but there is better pressure to leeward.
Yeah, it's lifting us now. 20 seconds.
Dean Barker, the man with the 14 on his helmet. He is the skipper and helmsman.
10.
Getting ready to jibe.
3, 2, 1, jibing.
And a nice jibe, and Kenny, just like that, Oracle Team USA jibes right on top. Now, is that a tactical, or they seen better pressure as well?
No, for sure, tactical position. That's called a cover right now. The boat ahead is covering, kind of staying between the other boat and the mark right now. No reason to do something crazy. But interestingly, we're seeing Oracle show pace on this first run like we haven't seen before. It's windy out there, and Oracle is really showing some jets on run number 1 of this race.
See it, Tommy? Stand by. Okay, go button, go forward.
You see those dagger boards drop down in the water as they get ready to jibe. Jimmy Spithill makes the dash across the trampoline. They stay up on their foils.
I think it's going to be a foiling tack here. I don't think we got right mark foiling tack.
Right mark, foiling tack, okay?
You hear them say right mark foiling tack, so they're going to just go straight into this mark. Remember, with this flooding current, they're going to want to try to get some relief from underneath Alcatraz Island, so they're going to be both tacking fairly shortly. You heard Oracle talk about that tactic right there.
At gate number 2, it is the Americans, Oracle Team USA, the defenders of the Cup, who have the lead, pushing it to almost 150 meters over Emirates Team New Zealand, and it's the Americans clear of Mark 2 first. As the clock continues to run, the mark is set at 8 seconds, so the Kiwis trail by 8 seconds, and it looks like they are going to split the course with the Americans going towards Alcatraz and the Kiwis going closer to shore.
Gary, really interesting move by Oracle. We've never seen anybody do this yet. A foiling tack right around the mark where they literally never got on their standard starboard tack course. They rolled into attack. They practiced that yesterday. I watched them do it.
Zipping him a few tacks, okay?
Zipping him a few tacks, copy. Just want to stay in a sort of normal on the wind mode here, Lenny. I can't see him right.
With a lead of about 60 meters, it's Oracle Team USA on leg number 3 of 5 who have the lead on the Kiwis. They trail 3 races to 1.
I'm really surprised they went into that maneuver so quick around that mark. Literally, I watched them do it yesterday. I wondered if they broke something, if it was a mistake. But they really kind of gave up that kind of covering ability. Now, they may be able to do one less maneuver. No, actually, Team New Zealand is set up for one less maneuver. Really a surprising move by Oracle USA around that mark.
Jimmy, you good?
Oh, yeah, all good.
He's stepping.
It's going to be very hard for Oracle to make 2 tacks here quickly, and here's the dip.
Team New Zealand dipping. Exactly. Team New Zealand dipping from 180 yards behind at that mark to being even based on what Oracle did at that mark. Very surprising. And Team New Zealand now will have starboard tack when they split across to the other side.
Starboard tack, Kenny, and getting out of less current, so New Zealand has the advantage right now.
So Team New Zealand hugging right behind Alcatraz Island there, as Kenny and Gary Jobson put it out. You see less current there. The big arrows meaning heavier current. The Americans are in it, and the Kiwis just carried it a little farther, going almost to the boundary.
He hasn't come back.
You know, one thing you want to think about, that wind is more to the south when you get along the city front, so that could help Oracle when they tack over, have a better angle going for the mark. But right now, it's all about boat speed.
That's right, and that big angle difference that we see on the TV right now, they're just out of current. Team New Zealand's out of current right now, and you're going to see them go across a current line right there. Now they're out in the same current as Oracle. This is really interesting tactics by Oracle. I don't really know what they're doing right now, to be honest.
I almost wonder if in New Zealand you tack right now to get back out of that current. Tack early.
So the Kiwis have taken the lead for the first time in this race number 5 on leg number 3, which has really been their lucky charm over the course of the last 4 races.
Right out of the textbook, tack directly under wind, force Oracle back out into the current. Good move by New Zealand.
Oh, mate, we've got to get this sorted, eh?
I need more time.
Here it is at mark number 2, Ken. This is what you're talking about. They went immediately to tack.
They called for a foiling tack. We haven't seen this on any boat up to this time where they're trying to use their speed while they round the mark to actually roll the boat into a tack. They almost come to a stop right there doing it. This allows New Zealand to set up, get organized, and roll into what they consider a proper tack.
And here it is one more time. What they're trying to do is stay up on those foils, and as they make the turn, all that speed, Kenny, is pretty much just lost.
Again, I keep rehashing this, but I saw them do it yesterday. I remember thinking, and this is just during practice, I remember thinking at the time, boy, I wonder if they broke something. They did such a radical quick turn. Sure enough, they didn't. They were practicing it. They thought it would be better. Here they are going up the track. New Zealand just does a standard tack and just kind of starts running them down. Not only do they have pace and maneuverability, but they get the starboard tack advantage. As soon as they dip behind USA, they're in much less current, take over the lead pretty quickly.
Ken, there is nothing better in sailing than being behind and catching up, because it gives your crew a big psychological boost and really deflates the confidence of the other boat.
So what was once a 140-meter lead for Oracle Team USA, the defenders of the America's Cup, has now been handed over to New Zealand, and the Kiwis have pushed it out to a 300-meter lead over the Americans.
And now they get to dictate where they want to position themselves in the course, and they're playing for the left-hand side of the course. That's where the next bit of relief will be.
Really good pressure out of the slump.
So it's the Kiwis who lead on leg number 3 as they put distance on the Americans here in race number 5.
Really strong on him, boys.
And there is the advantage right now. Emirates Team New Zealand leading by more than 250 meters as the Americans try to get back into this one. They had the lead on legs 1 and 2, yielded on leg 3. And Ken, was that a mistake, a tactical mistake by the Americans, or was it just a more favorable current for the Kiwis?
It was all of the above. I've never seen a tactic like that, trying to go up what's called that tidal cone behind Alcatraz. That fast tack actually didn't really set them up very well, even to get into the cone. Never mind give away advantage almost immediately.
Now, if you're looking at this AC live line and you're a fan of Oracle Team USA, you see those blue arrows, that's heavy current going against you. Why wouldn't you charge over to the left side of the course?
Gary, that's a good question. Can you help us with that one? I'm not quite sure.
Total confusion.
It's higher, slower.
This is the scene on the San Francisco Bay in September showdown, leg 3 of 5, race number 5. And Oracle Team USA had the lead for the first 2 legs. They gave it up on leg 3, and now they trail by a substantial amount to a very fast Emirates Team New Zealand boat. The lead has now been pushed out to almost 300 meters yet again by Emirates Team New Zealand. And look at the speeds, Kenny. Emirates Team New Zealand is just a faster boat today.
Yeah, upwind for sure. And that's been kind of the rumor around San Francisco for the last few days, is that Oracle seems to look pretty darn strong downwind, but I think everybody is shocked at how fast in the different modes. They have a low and fast mode. They have a high and slow mode. They're really good at tacking. They're just better upwind.
Absolutely no pressure. Just keep looking forward. Boundary will be coming up for him.
So Emirates Team New Zealand, you heard Ray Davies talking about no pressure, stay where we are, and just not enough racetrack as Oracle Team USA, Gary, has to tack back into the course.
Very tough maneuver for Oracle there. They're just slow making those turns, and it was tactics at the bottom mark that got them so far behind. We are right alongside Emirates Team New Zealand, and they're almost foiling going upwind. Very impressive what this New Zealand team is doing.
And the lead continues to grow for the Kiwis.
For sure, Todd. What we just saw Oracle do, it looked a little kind of out of control in that tack, but they're trying to do what Emirates Team New Zealand has done so far in this series and go from one hull directly to the other, to use their underwater foils to actually pop their new weather hull out of the water during a tack.
Just gets us the lay, okay? That's right, mate. Boundary tack, boundary tack.
Todd, we heard Ray Davies say boundary tack, which means they're going to go all the way over to the wall here, the wall that only we can see, of course, and probably tack there. Remember, this is where the most amount of relief is on the left side of the racetrack with regard to the currents.
20 seconds. Very wobbly out of here, guys.
Amazing how quickly this turned into a runaway.
10.
Oracle Team USA trying to get back into this race. They led on leg 1. They led on leg 2. And at mark 2, they made a decision to tack as they came around that mark, lost all their speed, got out of sequence, and the Kiwis have led pretty much from the outset, and not just leading by 50 meters or so, Kenny. They're pushing this thing to almost a lopsided proportion of 500 or 600 meters.
Down the road. This is an incredible turn of events. You have to believe that Oracle supporters were jumping for joy after that first reach and that first run, but unbelievable. We've seen more passes again in the America's Cup.
Kenny, you hear that noise, that creaking. Folks at home may think these boats are about to break apart. What are we listening to there?
Yeah, we're listening to the lines on the winches. Amazing loads. 3 tons of load on this wing winch, and then of course the jib or the soft foil up forward. They're just easing and trimming to try to make these boats go at maximum speed.
You know, the problem when you have some moment like this for Oracle Team USA, it gets in your head that you're slower. So even if you're ahead down at the leeward mark, then you start making those mistakes like we saw Kaseki do. The next big thing here for New Zealand is to make a clean rounding. Let's not forget, in the finals, they almost crashed coming around that windward mark.
Gary referring to the Louis Vuitton Cup final where Team New Zealand got into it with Chris Draper and Luna Rosa, and they had a big dip, losing 2 men that went overboard. They were fished out moments later, but they came around with a lot of speed. Here we go. At mark number 3, it is all Kiwi. Emirates Team New Zealand with a huge lead at the 3rd mark. And the clock will begin, and that will give us the difference between Emirates Team New Zealand and Oracle Team USA, but it will be sizable as the Americans are still 200 meters away from the gate.
And Gary, with this big southerly breeze, the breeze coming much more off the land today, essentially no passing lanes. They're going to do one jibe and almost go all the way down the track.
Yeah, it's good news for the New Zealanders to have the wind from this direction on this leg. That's one of the reasons they were unable to catch up or pass on that first downwind leg.
So Oracle Team USA has to make another tack before they get to the gate, and they've still got some work to do. Meanwhile, Emirates Team New Zealand has the wind, has the current, and they are heading down towards mark number 4. The lead is over a minute now. At mark number 3, Oracle Team USA finds themselves in a big hole of 1 minute and 17 seconds. Can they work their magic on leg number 4?
Real good knocking pressure here in 2, 1. Really good knocking pressure.
Now that would be a big lead, Ken, if it was 356 meters to New Zealand, but it's 1,356 meters. Where did this whole thing go wrong? Was it on that one maneuver at gate 2?
One maneuver at gate 2. That's it. This is a shocking turn of events, and this time we could use the word shocking with lots of authority. Just an incredible turnaround for Oracle Team New Zealand to go from ahead to way behind.
Emirates Team New Zealand on leg 4 of 5. They will steam down the course, and then they will turn to the right, and they will punch it straight in to the finish line for yet another victory. And barring any major disaster or malfunction on the boat, this race will go the way of the Kiwis. That is the scene in the San Francisco Bay, and if you are a fan of Emirates Team New Zealand, it is a happy day. An absolute whitewashing of Oracle Team USA, who led the first and second legs of this race. And on leg number 3, that man with the 14 on his helmet, Dean Barker, put the hammer down on the Americans. The lead is almost 1,500 meters, and folks, in match racing, Kenny, that is got to be unprecedented.
And they got a little pace right now, just a little pace. They're going 49.5 miles an hour. You know, just out for a little afternoon cruise on San Francisco Bay.
And Gary, you could probably just circle regardless around in between New Zealand and USA and have no problem fouling on the right of way.
You know, yesterday Oracle was out here sailing, and I just wonder if they made some changes to their boat, trying to make it go faster upwind, and they went backwards. That happens when you have very little time to test things.
And I guess the question would be, from an outsider, is if you won the last race of the America's Cup on Sunday afternoon, why change anything? Why not stick with what you did on Sunday afternoon?
Well, remember, the learning curves on these boats are through the roof still. They're learning stuff every single day. I think every crew member on board these boats would say they're getting faster every day. I think for the first time, we just saw a big tactical error. All these other errors up until now have been tiny in magnitude. When it comes to the one I think we saw at that first leeward gate.
And that foiling jibe just did not seem to work. They slowed down a lot and lost half their distance on that maneuver alone. I'm wondering if they're going to want to do a second race. Yeah, sorry, Todd. I'm just wondering if they're going to do a second race or whether they want to get back to the barn and do a reset. So that's something that they'll have about 20 minutes to decide after the finish.
And what Gary's referring to is each team has a provisional card they can play where they can literally wave off a race. Usually it's used for breakage on the boat or weather conditions, and so that would be unprecedented for Team USA to play their provisional card and wave off the race after getting hammered by Emirates Team New Zealand. So here we are at mark number 4, and it is the Kiwis by a long shot out in front, reaching speeds of 54 miles an hour. That's 46.9 knots, and Dean Barker firmly in control of this race and firmly in control of this regatta. Talk about answering the call. People started to get skeptical. Did New Zealand just get lucky on those first 3 races when the Americans won the 4th race? And I think Dean Barker has answered that question.
Well, for sure, the first 2 legs of this race, there were a lot of skeptics. All of us are sitting here saying, geez, I wonder if Oracle has caught a new gear. but man, did they hand it away quick at that first gate. Really surprising that the afterguard, the brain trust of Oracle would have put themselves in the position that they actually put themselves in. Again, very easy to say from sitting here in our comfortable chair, Todd, but nonetheless, not a great move.
One of the things I want to look for to see if Grant Dalton stays on the boat if they do have a second race today. He got off, they lost. He's the big brother, the cultural guru aboard the boat, and I think he should stay on. We'll see if he does.
Well, they haven't lost with Grant Dalton on the boat as the Americans finally make it to mark number 4, the defenders of the Cup. They cross it at 1:14 behind Emirates Team New Zealand, and there's nothing they can do now but watch the Kiwis pick up yet another win. Time and distance belongs to the Kiwis yet again. Race number 5 goes in the books. Emirates Team New Zealand is your winner.
Both boats have to declare 20 minutes before, or 10 minutes before the next start, whether they're going to do the race or not.
Todd, I think it would be unprecedented for a team to actually not do this next race, and Gary, just because they're kind of ticked off. I think it's still a long series ahead. You can break stuff. They break stuff all the time. I'd be shocked if these guys didn't do this second race unless they have broken something. And looking by their body language right there, I think they've broken maybe their egos a little bit, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think the smartest thing you could do in a situation like this is to get right back out on water and go at it again and learn what you can.
And more than a minute behind, it's Oracle Team USA that finally crosses the line. But again, this could be a case of what could have been after mark number 2, because they led leg 1, leg 2, and leg 3 seems to be the kryptonite of Oracle Team USA.
Almost into a jib change. Yep.
Hear Jimmy Spithill say, obviously into a jib change. It's getting windy out there, Gary, isn't it?
It is building a little bit, and that flood tide's going to be going down, so that'll increase the apparent wind, more wind pressure, hence they'll want that smaller sail.
One thing we've heard out of Jimmy Spithill when he's finished behind in the first few races, Todd, is bad luck, guys. Well, he didn't say bad luck this time, I noticed. They made their own luck in that one, unfortunately.
And in typical Kiwi fashion, the celebration is somewhat muted as they go by America's Cup Park. And the fans continue to make their way down to the San Francisco waterfront to see Dean Barker put on an absolute masterful display here in race number 5 as they pick up the win.
One quick note here, the wind is 22.3. The wind limit for the next race is 24.5. So we're 2 knots underneath the wind limit, but I definitely see the wind building. So that will be a question too. Will there be too much wind?
Seems like right now the answer to that is there's not enough wind for Emirates Team New Zealand, and for Oracle Team USA, there's just not enough racetrack or time. They are running out quickly as the Kiwis have won their 4th race, and they are 5 races away, 5 victories away from claiming the 34th America's Cup.
As the pit crews come on board the boats, they do a thorough investigation of every part and piece they possibly can while they have time in between the races, and it's about a half an hour total from one race, the finish of one, to the start of the other, and they will absolutely be crawling through the hulls to find parts and pieces they may be about to give up.
So the pit crew comes aboard Emirates Team New Zealand. Dean Barker, their skipper and helmsman, gets the job done, picks up win number 4 in this series. We go on board with Dean, and Dean, congratulations. I tell you, leg 1 and 2, it looked like the Americans found another gear, but you seem to always track them down on leg 3.
Yeah, well, it's a tough way to win races, but it's working for us. You know, we'd like to be controlling our fate a little bit more in the around Mark 1, but yeah, it didn't quite work out on that one. You know, we sort of they managed to get over us on the first reach, and it was just a case they just sort of picked up a bit of pressure around our bow and just sort of stretched out a little bit. So, yeah, plenty to work on, but it's, yeah, it was encouraging that we can sort of get back into the race like we did.
Hey, Dean, when in all the Louis Vuitton races and America's Cup races so far, we've never seen somebody just literally roll into attack around the mark like Oracle did. When they spun it into attack like that, were you surprised?
No, something that I've been practicing. We've tried it a bit as well. When you're sort of wanting to get going a certain way, it's a pretty nice move. But yeah, the cone was wide enough. It seemed that we could just stay in it off his hip, and just got it set us up further up later on. So we weren't unhappy when they did roll straight into the tack then.
Dean, I'm wondering how important is it to have Grant Dalton on the boat here for the second race, keeping in mind it got off the race on Sunday for the second race and you lost. So how important is it to have him on board now?
As long as he's still feeling fighting fit, we'll keep him here. But it's it's certainly not the reason we lost the second race on Sunday. But yeah, it's good with him here. He enjoys it, and hopefully we can go on and win another race this afternoon.
Well, Dean, enjoy the victory momentarily as you get ready for the next race. We'll cut you loose. Thanks again for your time.
Yeah, thank you, guys.